Sports Goombahs, Cassidy King here. I got my chef to the left, Brendan B. Mikey Wall over to the right, typing away on the Twitter. Check him out at Cassidy King at Sports Goombahs. Got the Wall running the show in that action. Too old, I'm too avid for that stuff. This is the Sports Goombahs show, and the first hour is brought to you by Seal Roofing. Seal all your roof problems over one call. 215-533-4066. That's 215-533-4066. Check them out at sealroofing.net. All right, guys. We're rocking and rolling. I don't know where to start. But once again, we thought we had nothing going on. And the potato man comes through again for us. The Chip the Media Potato. Chip the Media Kelly. I mean, Chip the, what do we call it? The material. Chip the Material Kelly. That's what I want to call him. That's
material machine. Eminem.
No, he's the material, because that's what he does. Give us a call. 215.
No, 267.
Okay.
563-2893.
He was
testing me?
267-563-2893. 267-563-2893. It's a Sports Goombah hotline. We're live here at the 515 studios in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
All your avenues of social
Knock
media.
on the front door. Maybe we'll let you in. Who knows?
You got a pizza.
You better have a pizza.
Yeah,
If
pizza,
you want
man,
to get
that's
in,
for
you got to
sure.
get a pizza.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get right to it. I mean, once again, this week's full of Philadelphia Eagles are all over the news again. They bring Sam I Am to the Eagles and trade away Nick, Nick Unfolded, or whatever you want to call him. I don't know. It's pure chaos. And the best thing about it is Chip finally spoke. And when he did in front of the Philly media, he baffled them all. He just they had nothing to say. They asked questions, he answered them, bang, 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 in and out of there. This is the way I do it. This is how we're going to do it. And this is how it's done here as the Philadelphia Eagles, as the GM and coach. You don't like it? Go down the street. Go over to New York. Get about it. So, the way I see it, I don't know nothing about Sam Bradford. I don't know nothing. All I know is every year he gets injured. I didn't follow him when he first came out of college, and I know nothing about him, and I was shocked as anybody else to hear his name mentioned, as a trade for Nick Foles, who, I've been on a Nick Foles wagon since day one. I just thought he had it. What I started not to like about Nick Foles was the fact the guy can't stay healthy. And in the NFL, that's what it's all about. I don't care how good you are. If you can't stay on the field, it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter your arm, your legs, your mind. If you're not on the field, it don't matter. You know what I mean? It's like they used to say about Vic when he was here. Need Vic to run his offense. Well, great. He's not on the field though, so he can't run the offense. And it started to become the same thing with Nick Foles.
He couldn't run the offense because he wouldn't pay attention to the offense.
Well, that's not my point. Let's go to the phones. Let's see who's bothering us this early. Sports Goombahs, welcome to the show.
I thought I'd call in early tonight.
You ain't kidding. I didn't get 10 lines out before you called them. That's okay. We'll get you out of the way. Not a problem. What's going on, my man? We missed you last week.
Oh, all right.
I said we missed you last week. Not all right.
I was listening, though. I was listening.
I know. So what's going on? What's going on in the North Jerseyville?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. We got a visitor from France listening to us right now.
That's right.
This is fantastic.
Well, if he calls in, tell me we speak English only over here. We care about France, but it's okay. It's a nice town. They got good French fries.
Or am I just talking to you?
No, I got nothing better to do tonight than talk to you on the phone. Yeah, of course you're on the air.
Oh, all right. Well, I saw your thing. Let's talk about Chip and some things that come to mind. immediately is having Ryan Matthews and DeMarco Murray both on the Eagles.
It's a big crowd.
This could be. I could think they could be really, 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 really terrific this year.
What, they can run the ball? That's cool. I mean, once they get stopped, we don't know. Right now, it is so early, and there's so much hype and bullshit going on that you don't know who's going to be on this team yet. They got four guys in the backfield. I don't know if all three of them are going to be there. I know Sproles is going to be there. Not letting him go.
Murray's going to be there.
Right.
I think it's safe to say Matthews is going to be there too.
Murray's going to be there. Matthews is on there too. And they can lighten the load for each other.
Yeah, it depends. Jeff, it all depends on where this guy's going, and I'm not going to sit here and second guess him right now because every week he's pulling something else out of the hat. Yeah, the fact that he brings Tim Tebow in to take a look at him just to make noise is part of some sort of strategy this guy has, for sure. He wasn't in.
What was that all about? Why did they bring? Who knows? Him in?
Who knows? It doesn't matter. It could have been some inside job, some favor he was doing for somebody that he's going to need a favor from down the line. You know how Chip works. Guy gets injured wide receiver gets injured last year in New York, and all of a sudden Chip's in the hospital saying, "Hey, is he okay?" You know what he did for Cruz when Cruz went down? Who knows? Maybe he's just milking Cruz.
It's that good PR.
Right. He might need Cruz next year.
He's a recruiter.
Yeah, he's recruiting. Know what he is? He's becoming an NFL ambassador. He's not just Chip Kelly, the coach. He's Chip Kelly. He's like, he's hey, look, he's material. It's what he does. He's, he'll show up. He showed up at the funeral for the police officer that was shot in Philly the other day out of nowhere, just doing that type of thing. Now, is it all part of a big plan that he has? Possibly. He knows what kind of town he's in right now. You have to pander to the fans of this city. Absolutely. This is the type of thing we like. We like to see that kind of stuff. Okay. It also gives you a little latitude when things go wrong. And that's what's key here too, because he's going to be around for a long time. This is not a 2-3 year stint for a coach. This is a coach who's got, I'm guaranteeing he's here 10 years minimum. Minimum 10 years he's here. That's how much Jeffrey Lurie likes this guy. And plus, the Eagles are on the front page of everything every day. And they've been that way since Kelly's been here. Even when they won last 2 years ago, they were winning football games. He was surprised in the NFL. All they talked about was Kelly changing the league. Kelly this, Kelly that, right?
Yeah.
And last year was the same at 9-3 until they shit the bed, as B would say. So when that happened, they started questioning him. Does his methods work in the NFL? So even when they were praising him, when things went bad, they were ripping at him. So he's still the top dog, the top story in the NFL.
He was the guy to change everything, and he tweaked it.
Yeah,
he didn't change it because they were all waiting for him to do his college-like offense in the NFL. But the man's smart. He made a hybrid. He did some stuff here, so he tweaked it. So they were pissed that they were wrong. And then they were pissed because he was winning, because they wanted him to fall flat on his face to say, because let's face it, at the very beginning, not everyone had a lot of faith in him, and they still don't. If you listen to the fans and just the commentators sitting there when they traded away Shady, the number 2-3 carrier,
right?
And oh my God, he's nuts! He's freaking nuts! There's one ESPN guy going crazy. You heard all the fans go, "What is he doing?" 3 days later, he gets the number 1 rusher. So what do you?
Yeah, the thing is,
you gotta let it play out. He doesn't even have a finished product yet for next season. So he's still going to be maneuvering. He's still going to get more. I mean, I'm convinced right now that he can get a really good, at least really good wide receiver in the draft. At least that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, God forbid, Mariota drops out of favor, to 8 or 9 or 10 even. There's a chance there now.
I think we need to get that out of our head. Get it out of your head. I don't
want to sell it, but I'm guaranteeing that if that happens, you're going to see a play for it, and maybe that's why he's got 4 backs. Maybe that's why he's doing all these favors. I
think by trading for Bradford, he basically said Marriott is out of the picture. He probably he made the calls. He talked to people, so kind of figuring out if it's possible, and he got word back it's not possible. It's not going to happen. He's not going to get up there because you don't trade for a $13 million quarterback just to draft one, just to trade up to draft one in the top 10. It makes no sense. If you wanted a 1-year rental, you would have kept the $900,000 man, Nick Foles. You don't trade for a $13 million man. Wouldn't make any sense. None. But what I was saying, it is funny. Just a week ago today, you go on any social media and it's idiot. Chip Kelly's a moron. I'm washing my hands of this team. I'm so done. Now it's, oh my God, DeMarco. And yeah, it gets ridiculous. Like,
I'm just waiting for it to happen.
All these signing. I mean, you look at it overall, they've improved everywhere except quarterback.
They didn't improve wide receiver.
What about their O-line? Their O-line needs help.
I don't know if they improved.
True.
I don't know. I don't know what they did at quarterback. I don't. This guy hasn't played.
At worst, it's even.
It's even. At worst, it's even.
Which why you trade a second rounder to be even, I don't know, but that's regardless.
There's something there.
There's something to that.
I'd much rather Bradford than Foles easily. I think it's an upgrade, but I'm not gonna make a bold thing.
It's an upgrade if Bradford's on the field. If he's not, then we're in trouble with Sanchez.
But you can never just assume injuries. You can't.
I'm just saying, but in general, that's the history you have here. I mean, guy loses 2 years in a row for the same injury. There's something weak going on down there in the legs. And were those injuries on hits or was he just moving around? I don't even know.
I do think last year's was a non-contact. I believe. I don't remember it. But it was preseason. But
preseason, yeah, I remember that was the end of their season. Well, it made a big difference in that team. So he's something. I mean, it looks like he has the mechanics, from what I could see in videos.
Well, he was the number 1 overall pick for a reason. And I've heard some people saying, oh, it was a weak quarterback class. It was Tebow. Right. But he was like the unquestioned number 1. There wasn't a question. Right. He was number 1. Like, there wasn't a doubt. Yeah. Whether there was a weak class or not isn't his fault. He was the unquestioned number 1 guy. Unfortunately, went to a team that didn't really have a good line, which is maybe why his numbers weren't as good as they could be, or why he was hurt so much.
Right. No, I hear you. Well, he's going to have a big backfield to deal with back there. So a lot of people to give the ball to. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Wide receiver will worry about that when the time comes.
There's still guys out there. There's still draft to come. It's way too early to start saying, to jump into conclusions about their season.
Yeah. Well, in any case, once again, it's a strong week of chaos in the NFL. I mean, players moving all over the place.
Jeff's team got they picked up a receiver.
Yeah, you got a receiver and
what's the rumor? Oh,
and Revis, right?
Oh yeah, Jeff got Revis back.
Is he still with us?
Jeff, you got Revis Island back there in New Yorkville. His swan song to he's going to finish his career in Europe.
Revis, that's awesome. Not only that, they got Cremani back too.
I know we were saying.
Got Brandon Marshall.
Yeah,
you got a team there. You just need a quarterback now.
If they could just get Sanchez back, they could relive, the glory days in New York.
The glory days of the 7 and 9 Jets. Yeah.
Well, you're going to get Marcus Mariota, so that's what's going to be. There's going to be your quarterback. I mean, I guess
maybe.
Well,
I'm thinking you may be right with Chip. He may be looking to get Marcus Mariota, or however you pronounce his name.
I don't think so. I really don't think, Jeff. I don't think that's in the game anymore. I don't think it is.
I know. What was the rumor I heard just on the way over here? Something about Breeze from the Saints.
To where?
That's what I heard. Maybe it was a joke or something.
That was a joke.
It's just like when I posted up last week, Kaepernick, the Eagles, it's coming, book it. Actually, Frankie Calzone called me up. He said, I got a close contact them in the Eagles. Kaepernick's going to come here, right?
And then an hour later, they traded for Bradford.
Right. So and I put it up there. Why not? If it happens, I look like a genius. If it doesn't, who cares? I'm just like everybody else speculating.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen, just delete it.
Right.
Just delete it.
That's
never happened.
That's what's good about the social media. It doesn't happen, just get it off there before everybody sees it, I
mean, I put out 16 plays a night. I just delete the losers. I look like I go undefeated every night.
Well, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
that's the rule of the land when it comes to that stuff, So the quiet guy's out. The quiet guy out in this whole thing has been the owner of the team. Hey, Jeff. You still with us?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to let you go, man. I appreciate you calling in. And listen, before I let you go, you got a play you want to give out to everybody, and give a little shout to your website. I know you made some changes lately.
Oh yeah, well, I'm still with trendbetting.com. You can go to trendbetting.com. You can go to biggamepicks.com, And I have all kinds of packages now.
Okay.
1 day, 1 week, 1 month, whatever you want, we got it. That's www.biggamepicks.com and www.trendbetting.com.
Jeff, you got somebody you got an upset for us in the NCAA starting? I won't talk to you till they are. Go ahead.
Tomorrow we're going to take St. John's over San Diego State.
St. John's over San Diego State. That's a good pencil dropper. All right. I like it. Hey, Jeff, appreciate you calling in, man, as usual. My man.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night,
You
guys.
too. Talk to you soon. See, I was talking about the quiet guy's been Jeff Lurie.
Yeah, we
I have
had.
nothing from him at all.
That's confidence,
In
baby.
fact, no one's even asking him anything at all. He's not even. I haven't heard him speak since he made him the GM.
Well, look at it like this. I mean, if I don't even know if anybody's tried to approach him, like you just said. If you got if their media and the fans are calling this guy crazy man for doing all this,
right.
what kind of stuff is Chip smoking? All these kind of like jokes. You would think that somebody would sit there and go, "Yo, Jeff, what's up with your boy, man?"
Yeah,
and either he's not available, he's in hiding, or I'm just going to sit there and go, you know what? That's my guy. Why don't you ask Chip? That's confidence.
I think what he's done is he's given him the title and the job, and he's who you have to deal with. And the owner, which is the smart move, stays out of everything. And in fact, I don't want to hear Jeff Lurie talk anyway, because he always says the same crap. It's almost like it's rhetoric that comes right off a script that he has. It's the same thing every time, So there's nothing for him to say. He's got his team on the map.
Oh, definitely.
No doubt. He's on the map. He's on the map as of any other team in this league. Cowboys, whatever. And speaking of Cowboys, what's going on over there? Who'd they sign in the back?
McFadden. That's Jerry Jones' boy. He's wanted him since day one. He wanted
from
to
the
draft
Raiders,
him.
right?
Yeah, he's an Arkansas guy.
Yeah, but he's like, that's their star back. That's their feature back.
That can't possibly. I think they're going to draft somebody. That can't possibly be their option.
I mean, that team's. That's. I think something's not right over there for that to happen. The person to get outbidded, unless the Marco Murray just wanted out of there, or maybe he, if he's a smart guy.
I think that. Well, what they're saying is they try to lowball him. They try to play.
Right. But
poker face, and he just said, "No, that's fine. I'll go to Eagles."
He's a smart guy. He says, "I'm running the ball 400 times. I come to Philly, and maybe the deal there is that they got 3 running backs. I don't have to do."
Oh yeah, he won't have to. Yeah, he won't have to have big.
And once
he'll
again,
make more money to carry less.
And here's the thing: what we're talking about guys with careers, young guys with careers. This is what they need to do. To be the smart move is to keep yourself in the NFL to make more money instead of banging away for a couple years and being crippled, because that's what's going to happen to him at that point.
That's the thing about the NFL is compared to other sports, where you may NBA, you may want to go to a team to get shots, because it doesn't matter. When you go to NFL, you don't want to get carries. You don't want to get it 400 times a year, or you'll be done in 2-3 years.
What was the quote that Chip said? If they're all getting if we're running the ball 690 times, that means they're getting like 160 touches each or something like that. That's good, or something like.
I think your math is a little off, but yeah,
you know what I mean. I can't remember the quote. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's a good thing. You split it
of course.
up,
if you're running the ball more, it's because you're winning.
Yes.
You're not down 2 touchdowns running the ball.
And now that you think about every detractor out there last year said we couldn't punch in.
Right.
We couldn't do it.
If you can't do it now, then you can't do it at all.
Exactly. So, and these are the same people that were complaining about getting rid of Shady. Shady was left, right.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have somebody to go right through, and you sit there, and that's what fried my brain about the Super Bowl, because you had a guy that could do that.
The number one guy.
Ideal situation. And then, but now back to our fans, it's that all week long it was dead, and it still is, because now the worst thing I saw was I couldn't find a Nick Foles fan outside of this room, and you weren't really a big one. But now everybody's pissed off that he's gone. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a love-hate thing, or Philly fans just that fickle, or is it worse yet? They just sit there, all the crazy moves that Chip made, they're buying into the fact that because of what our media is pumping, that the guy doesn't know what he's doing.
What it is first of all, we all know Philly fans like to complain, probably almost more than any other city of fans. And
Right.
we're complainers. We are.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say we because I don't want to lump myself in with the average Philly fan, because the average Philly fan really bothers me. Because they said, day one in free agency and we're complaining, it's over. Like, just relax. There's 6 more months until the season starts. We'll be fine. We'll find some receivers. We'll find some running backs. And we did just that so far with the running backs. So it's just, like I said, they just complain. And of course, anytime you try, Shady was beloved. He never did anything wrong. He never spoke out of turn. He was a great player from Pennsylvania.
Same with Macklin. Yeah.
Well, Shady got annoyed. He got annoyed when everybody was picking on him a little bit last year when he was having a tough time, gaining yards in the middle of the season when the team was winning. That's the thing about it. When he started running,
I don't think the fans so much were getting on him.
Well, the media fans, I guess it's all the same. But it's ironic how last year when he was not running the ball well, the team was winning.
Mm-hmm.
When he started carrying the ball, he was the feature back.
When you were winning, he was 35th in the league in rushing.
Right.
Then you're winning the games, and are you losing? He's third.
And that's right there. And that right there is a nutshell of what Chip Kelly does. He brings player. It's about the winning, not about the star. You don't care if you run for 2,000 yards, you run for $2,000 and we're losing. That's not good for the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he did here. He took away, that option now. No feature back means you listen to what Kelly says and runs the plays he runs. And you don't have to have, if he's got 3 backs who need the ball, maybe even 4, they can't fight with each other because there's 4, they're going to get the what? 3 carries. I mean, you might not see the ball in one game, depending on how the game goes. So, and McCoy, if he's this type of back in this offense where he's not getting the ball 10 times a game, at least 10 times a game, he's going to start moping.
Well, he should be getting the ball at least 10 times.
Right, but maybe not in this offense. He shouldn't be. It depends on what they're doing. I mean, he should be getting the ball. He should be getting the ball 20 times a game.
It probably depends on who they're playing too.
Yeah, that's
I mean, you look at it like that. Your game. I mean, like, let's face it. His game plan evolved a lot. Which 1 week we saw this, 1 week we saw that. It probably changed with each team. He tailored it to each team. It's
time to start picking on the other teams like the Patriots do. Pick on the other team's weaknesses, exploiting the other team instead of just running your game plan the way it is. It all depends on the other side. You have weak secondary, you pick on them. That's what they did to the Eagles last year. Everybody picked on that secondary. 3rd and 8. Here's no doubt 3rd and 8 was going to be a first down with this team last year. It's just the way it was. I think, that's the way I look.
A couple things I wanted to touch on before we move on at all was it's kind of, Brent, what you were saying with the Foles fans out there. You couldn't find them before here.
Right.
But if you ask any of these newfound Foles fans, were you going to win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles? If they can look you in the eyes and say, yes, we are going to, then first of all, they're lying. Second of all, if he's not going to win a Super Bowl, then why do you care? Right. Why do you care if we trade him? He's not going to get us any further than what he did. He'll get you 10 wins, maybe 11, get your division. But what is that really going to get you? He's not going to get you all the way. Well, so why not roll the dice with a former Heisman Trophy winner, first overall pick? He was good. And would you say, he's always hurt. Well, before last year, DeMarco Murray was always hurt. But then he didn't get hurt, and he won the rushing title. So if Bradford doesn't get hurt, it's possible. It's very possible for someone to not get hurt. And now who knows what he could do? He could live up to those expectations.
To answer Cash's question, I did look at it. It was both contact injuries.
Yeah?
Yeah, both of them.
Well, there you go. That's even better.
Down out of line, out of bounds, and the other one was just a straight up hit.
Better.
You say could they won a Super Bowl with Foles? I don't know. The reason people thought that, or maybe is because that season he was accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He was smart. He got out of situations. He didn't panic, which is key to winning a Super Bowl as a quarterback, is not panicking.
But he did not look the same last year.
No, he didn't. No. Not at all. No, absolutely not. Even his facial expressions changed. Well, when you get one full season in the NFL, you get banged around, you get injured, you start thinking all of a sudden. And also, you got to remember, you also became the darling of the city, too. You went to the Pro Bowl. Mm-hmm. You won the MVP in the Pro Bowl. Well, I mean,
in a very similar thing, look at with the Phillies, where Nick Foles had not a full season, but in the season he played was great, phenomenal.
Right.
Same thing with Dominic Brown. Yeah. He had a great. Is he now untouchable because he had a great stretch? No, because the next year he came back full season. He didn't look as good.
Here's the other thing too. Nick Foles now became a commercial doer. I mean, you walk into Acme, you hear him on the Acme thing all day long while you're shopping there, and he's doing commercials. He's doing other things that take you out of the focus of football, which is what professional sports is. The bottom line is, if you're good enough, you can handle that and playing the game, then you're okay. But some players can't do that. They can't become movie stars and football players. When I say movie stars, actors, because you're acting in commercials, whether it's done off season or not. You know, if it's done off season, it's played during the season. Still, at one time you were distracted from the game to do that. And if you're a young player in this league, you don't need distractions. That's why we talked about the nitwit from Cleveland.
Johnny.
Yeah, Manziel. He didn't, you know, because they say, oh, he's just being a young kid. Well, all that time you spent partying and doing your things, you should have been studying film.
Exactly.
Defenses, playbooks, things like that. You get all the time after you win 10, 15 games in a season, a Super Bowl, a couple of playoff games to have fun with what comes with a pro life. But in the beginning, you can't start off like that.
You got to accomplish something. In other words, walking in here, we always called it in the kitchen. You got to serve your time.
Right. You have other guys on that field who want to kill you because they need to make a dollar. So when you're marching out there as a quarterback, and you saw nobody on the defenses gave Manziel any help getting up. In fact, they were excited to put him down.
Some of his offense, a lot of his offense didn't help him up.
Yeah, right. That's
they
the
knew.
thing. Right.
And they knew. Nobody hates the slacker at work.
Right.
The guy that's goofing off, whatever. You feel like you can't get shit done, and that's basically we forget. Out of all this, that we're watching a football game, we're watching a baseball, we're watching hockey, or whatever it is. At the end of the day, it's somebody's job, and they make money doing their job. Now, I'm sure a lot of these players have performance bonuses and stuff like that. So here's Johnny freaking Knucklehead. Who knows if you get like X amount of wins, you get a bonus. You make the next bracket of pay or whatever. And you're a poor offensive lineman who's not making a lot.
Right.
And that, thinking, okay, here's Johnny Football. Here's my meal ticket. We're going to score some freaking touchdowns, win some games. Maybe I'll get a bonus or something. And he comes in here and you can smell, maybe he's hungover or whatever. You can tell he didn't do his homework because judging by plays, he's not hitting passing patterns. He's dropping the ball on handoffs and stuff. And you just see it and you get frustrated. So when he gets hit, you sit there and look at him and go, welcome to the NFL, kid. This is where you got to pay your dues. You got to do your homework. You got to work harder. Then you got to work it like that. You know what? Your job depends on it because it just might. Yeah, you know what? In this day and age, $5 million signing bonus and all this other crap is just chump change. They'll cut you and throw you to the curb.
Yep.
We've seen teams do it.
Right.
We saw Seattle do it, and they still got to the Super Bowl. We saw the Eagles do it.
Business, man.
It's business.
Yeah.
And you know what? You want your $5 million? Fine. Go drink it away. Go snort it away. Go piss it away. Whatever you're going to do. We'll find somebody else to fill your spot, and you can just go be the has-been.
My question with Tebow is, they always say you can't lose your job due to injury, but can you lose it due to rehab? That's something. Can he lose his job due to rehab? This actually was a joke. You're taking this a serious question, but
what do you mean?
Well, he's not really. I mean,
he doesn't have a job.
Yeah, he ended the season as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, well, they did that to throw him in there. I mean, I would have done that. I would have fed him to the wolves because
he's getting replaced by Josh McCown. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, as idiot fans as we are, we knew what they were doing. We knew they were putting them in there just because it's Manziel, and they had to keep
sell tickets, sell jersey.
Tickets, just make noise. It's once again, I keep repeating myself about this, and not at you guys, but the NFL, it's all about PR. Every team has a person on it, a player on it that makes the team desirable. Not
every team.
Name one that doesn't.
The Jaguars.
They will when they go in the draft. There's going to be somebody on this team that they can promote. Who's quarterbacking the Jaguars?
Exactly.
Who's quarterbacking?
Exactly. You don't even know.
Well, that's why I asked you.
Well, it's Bortles.
Well, Blake Bortles.
Oh, yeah.
He had 2 good games last year.
Bortles.
Blake Bortles, man.
That doesn't sound like
Yeah,
that's not a quarterback. That's like a venereal disease. You got the Bortles.
He had some good games. He's got promise. He's got a tough arm.
I didn't say it as not promise. You're not marketing Blake Bortles as the future.
Well, you pick up. You know what I'm saying. It's like the NFL wants every team to have somebody so they can plaster them on a Thursday night. There's a lot of nights to have football now. Soon Tuesday night's going to be a football night. And
apparently everybody gets a Thursday night game.
Yeah. And Thursday night's no joke no more. Now it's just not on the NFL Network. Now it's on NBC.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's so whatever.
CBS,
it's worldwide now. Yeah. So it's no joke. Used to be in the beginning, it was a joke to be on the Thursday night game. It was like, who cares? No one's watching. Now everybody's watching that game. I think the least watched game now is the Monday night game. You want to know the truth?
Yep.
That's become the Monday night's a tough night anymore. Back in the day, Okay, it was Monday Night Football. It went on at 9:00. The games were played, and it was special to be on Monday Night Football back then.
Because
Now,
usually it was a very high profile game.
you just wanted
It was
co-sell.
always-
You wanted to hear co-sell, say Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, whatever.
Well,
you just wanted to hear.
it was always the rivalry seemed to be on Monday night.
But even that,
Good
it was
game.
and the rivalry was the guys in the booth were good. The whole show was about football. Okay, once the Monday Night Football became about ESPN, when they took it over, and the music in the front, and who's going to do the show, and all the lights and the glitter of what the NFL has become, WWE. It's all about the show now, and less about the actual going on the field, and you know that.
2 weeks of WrestleMania.
I can't wait.
Like, Frank, we might as well start having a wrestling show here. It's because it's the same as anything else we're talking about. You know, for the most part, I think. What are you gonna do? I mean, that's once again, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar king of the hill. Okay, NFL, Allstate, State Farm, and the oil companies. That's what it is. I mean, soon the oil companies will own the football teams. For the most part,
Or the NFL will own the insurance companies, so they don't have to pay out anymore.
It's the money, and you know what? That's the world. I mean, that's just the way things are these days. I mean, what are you going to do? You got to join them, and of course, the NFL, they've joined it. They know what they have to do to make this happen, and if you don't see it, you're just not looking. Bottom line, you know what I mean? The way I see it.
Yeah.
The way I see the NFL in 10 years will be just one big promotion machine.
I
Players.
think eventually you're going to start seeing sponsors on the jerseys, those kind of, or the helmets.
Aren't they happening? College have that now? I mean, well,
No,
only
soccer's do.
only Nike,
Soccer does
Nike,
it.
Soccer,
Nike
that's
has that. Doesn't Nike?
Well, that's
also-
just because they're making this. They're actually making it. They can put your jersey.
Well, I
if you're
mean,
making the jersey, you
it'll-
put your name on it.
it'll be a contract bid out. Well, when is that up again? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like every couple of years they change it, and you know why? And it's good that it changes.
Well, they already
because-
started some of that with college. You're saying was where like Under Armour, it has like Maryland and a couple schools
Yeah.
where they make their jersey.
and that's it.
Eventually, you'll
They
start
get, like,
seeing
5.
flat out. You'll start seeing nationwide insurance on the side of their helmet or in the back of their jersey or in the front somewhere. It'll get to that point eventually.
I thought there was a college team that had somebody on them.
That'd be so illegal, especially in college of all places.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused with the the Nike
actual-
and the Adidas, the actual
Yeah, I'm saying
uniforms.
there are
Right.
schools that have this. These two are Nike. These are Reebok. These are Adidas.
Right.
These
Yeah.
are Under Armour.
It's kind of like carved out. They got their own
Mhm.
little like strongholds on stuff.
Yeah, something like that. All right, let's take a break.
Before we take a break, though, do you
Okay.
mind if I mention?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've been talking about this. If you've been following us on Twitter, at Sports Goombahs, you've been following me on Twitter at Walpeasy. Also follow us on Facebook. You will notice we've been talking about this. Win $50. We got a $50 gift card for. Here's what you got to do. In the comments or in the the section down below this video, you will, after it's aired, of course, you will see a link. Log on there, create a Yahoo account. If you have one, log in. If you can beat us, if you can beat all three of us, and then, of course, be the best of anybody else, have the best bracket, you win $50 gift card.
Plus, an authentic Sports Goombahs hoodie.
There you go.
A couple gift cards we're gonna throw there too.
There you go. So you got some coming your way. Got some cold hard plastic. Got a warm hoodie. Got some food gift cards. If you can beat us, this is the Beat the Goombahs March Madness bracket pool.
Yeah.
We'll have more information on after this for you.
Yep. All right. Cash the King, chef to the left. Mikey over here, the wall. We'll be back in a couple minutes. I think. Hi, Cash the King from Sports Goombahs. Listen, shop 344tees.com for your favorite men's, women's, and kids apparel. T-shirts, hoodies, sweats, and more with every name brand available. My man Larry Gilman will take care of all your printing and embroidery needs. Whether it's for business, sports, organizations, or maybe you're just opening up a pizzeria. 344tees.com will get it done. Call now, 844-542-2774. That's 844-542-2774. Their customer apparel marketing team are available not just to only give you the product you need, but give you the support and custom service that best matches your goal and budgets. Call 844-542-2774. That's 344tees.com.
BZI Group Inc. for your individual and small group health insurance needs. BZI offers free, instant online insurance quotes and applications from major health insurance carriers. The BZI Group is dedicated to a no-nonsense approach to health insurance. They focus on giving you the insurance you need in a timely and cooperative manner. Whether you're looking for individual and family, group, seniors, life, or long-term coverage, BZI can help. For additional information or to speak with an insurance expert, call 1-800-431-4834 or email them at www.bzigroup.com.
Stop paying your bookie each week and start collecting. They have the best handicappers in the world, all in one place. And their only job is to win you money. Check Jeff Brandes and all the experts at trendbetting.com. Trend betting theory is simple. Trends dominate in sports, and you will win in the long run by following the dominant trend. You will lose in the long run if you buck the dominant trend. Simple enough. That's trendbetting.com.
When you need a good roof over your head, call Seal Roofing. They've been keeping folks warm and dry for many years now and are proud of their work. Seal Roofing and Contracting does it all, whether you need simple repairs before the next big rainy season or a whole new roof. Maybe you need new siding or windows. You can be certain that when you hire Seal Roofing, you're hiring the best. Available 7 days a week with 24-hour emergency service and free estimates. Call 215-533-4066. That's 215-533-4066 or visit sealroofing.net.
Has your home or business been damaged by a recent storm and you're left to deal with the insurance company to make things right? Turn to Apple Public Adjusters and meet owners Patrick O'Donnell and Mark Stendardo. If you've suffered recent storm damage to your home or business, call 267-538-3373. That's 267-538-3373 and protect your rights and maximize your benefits.
Yeah, rock and roll here at the Sports Goombahs, the 515 Studios, County, Pennsylvania. Sports Goombahs. Give us a call, 267-563-2893. 267-563-2893 is the Sports Goombahs hotline. If you don't want to talk, send us a text. We'll answer you. Not a problem. Yeah. All right. Enough of the music.
Good job last week, Cashy.
Yeah. If you're paying your bookie,
It ain't our fault.
this is the sportsgoombahs.com. The pick session. And the pick session is brought to you by the boys at Auto Magic Car Care. Mike and Matt, they'll shine up for you like no other men and make it look easy. Trucks, cars, buses, mopeds, skateboards, whatever.
Rollerblades, bring them in.
Bring them in. Check them out at automagiccarcare.com or give them a call, 215-322-2561. That's 215-322-2561. Tell them the Sports Goombahs sent you. Give you a couple dollars off and they shine. The truck's got to go in, man. I can't take it no more. It's multicolor out there, even though it's been pretty nice out lately. I mean, really
Gorgeous.
Wait a minute. Last week was freezing. Was it the last cold day we had?
No, last week was fine.
It got good. I mean, I can remember.
I was wearing shorts last week, and you still yelled at me.
You were wearing shorts every week.
No, well, 2 weeks in a row.
Listen, it's the look. It's the Paul look. It's Mikey the Walls look. You know, once we etch you in a logo one of these days, that's how we're going to put you in there. You know, so he can drop his bottom in somewhere on the logo.
With a leg kick
make sure you put that it's really cold out too. So my shorts look out of place.
He's hanging little icicles from his eyes or something like that. You know. Nah, we just kid you, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown. All right, let's talk some Charlie Brown here. Let's talk some Charlie Green. We're going to earn you some more money this week. Last week, we were 4-1. Busted it out with Minnesota over New Jersey. No brainer. I gave you St. Louis over Winnipeg. I took the 2.5 plus the win money. The only game we lost, those stinking Flyers and Dallas, two stinking teams, stink together in the same night on the same ice and get us 3 goals when we only needed 5.5. That was the only loser. And I gave you on Thursday night, Nashville getting better, or how you say they're coming off their 1-7 I think run. I think they get healthy against Arizona, take them to freaking overtime to win it 2-1 in that game. I'm disappointed with Nashville, and I'm going to show you this week how I am. Tomorrow night, Minnesota's at Nashville. Now, I did this a couple weeks ago with Minnesota when Nashville started what you say, shit the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. It all started with the Minnesota game. When I took Minnesota on the plus points, I'm going to take them again against Nashville. I don't like the way this team's playing. Peter Laviolette, we love him. We like him.
Yeah,
we think he's good. Something's wrong over there in Nashville. They can't put the puck in the net, and when they do, they don't play defense. And they're picking the wrong time of year to go this way. This is not when you start turning because they got St. Louis coming up their ass. Minnesota plus the 125 over Nashville tomorrow. That's I got to do it. They're off.
I don't blame you. Minnesota's
I sold them.
Coming, man.
The Dow Jones, I sold them.
You sold the stock?
I sold the stock on Nashville. I'm sorry. You know, as doing what I do, you can't stick around too long. Happened to me in Oakland in the summertime.
Can't be a fan.
Yeah, I was there for the A's, and the A's went downhill. I stayed with them, and boom, end of story. The other game I have is the late game tomorrow. The Philadelphia Flyers are going to Vancouver. Well, at least it's a nice plane ride for that team. You know, bad spot for this hockey team right now, who can only seem to tie hockey games and lose in shootouts. Okay, I've never seen since shootouts have been invented, and by the way, if you were listening to hockey last night, they're going to go 3-on-3 next year. The NHL. They've been trying it in the Central League
for overtime.
Oh. I've been beefing about that for how long?
Wow, at least 5 years.
Yeah,
now.
5 years. I've been beefing about
it.
And even if it's 3-3 doesn't work after 5 minutes, you go to 2-on-2 until you're 1-on-1, and then if it has to, you have to 2 goalies go at it.
Yep.
What's the difference? At least it's the play of the game that wins, because all this shootout stuff exploits how bad these hockey players are on one-on-one situations, and it's pathetic. And no more pathetic than it is with the Philadelphia Flyers. I don't know how this team manages to blow shootouts, how they cannot score on goalies.
Oh, poor Mason. Have you seen? I mean, I feel bad for this guy. I mean, like, you work all this, you know, and maybe because we had so many, we were tormented for almost 2 years with either rotating goalies or Brizgalov. Who was a crazy guy, and we finally get a solid one.
We'll get back to that. I don't want to take away from what I'm doing, but I understand what you're saying. We'll get back to it. Anyway, Vancouver later 160 to win 100. It's an easy play. I don't like the goals. As you notice lately, I have been staying away from puck lines, which is where I made my name in this league by not puck lines. I mean totals, side totals, 2.5, 3, 3.5, that kind of thing. And lately, it's not working for me in hockey. And of course, I'm going to change it, and that's what I've done. And also, the numbers are the same. So why worry about the 2 goals when the win number is less, or sometimes it's less than the goal total itself. Anyway, the other game I like, Thursday night, Minnesota coming off the win in Nashville will now host Washington, who's a fugazi of a hockey team. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there. It's the Ovechkin show, and that's it. And then everybody goes home. This guy's not winning nothing with this team. This Washington team is going to be just like their baseball team was for years. always getting there to the point, winning the division, but never going anywhere because they just don't do it.
Well,
If I have to see him shoot the puck one more time, then watch it go, watch the rebound come off, or just stand there flat-footed on his skates and watch the rest of his team go after his rebounds and him not move unless the shoot comes right back at him.
he's too busy staring at what he's done.
This is
admiring his shot.
This is the the Tony Romo of hockey. This guy is a stats player, and that's it. He got nothing else going for him but stats. I mean, that's all he's ever shown since he's been in this league. His team has never been to the finals. I don't think he's made it to the semis, has he? I don't remember Washington going to the semis.
They might have won one round, and that's
it.
That's
it. That's what I think. That's what got Boudreaux fired. For the most part, he couldn't get this team over the hump.
The fact that
Vetsky got him fired. That's right. All right, I'm once again moving off what I'm doing here.
These are picks, right?
The pick session, not the beef section. All right, let's review. Tomorrow night, I got 2 games, 2 good ones. I want Minnesota. I'm going to take the plus 125. I like the number. Okay, it's a tight game there. Once again, Nashville has shown me nothing in this month, and it's concernable that it's concerning that this team has fallen flat like it has, and the way they've done it is the way they're playing. So I like Minnesota plus 125. I want Vancouver minus the 160 over a Flyers team that's just going nowhere fast, going down. And who knows? I mean, you can't even tell what kind of team this is, but they're flying across the country. Okay. Nosebleed section in Vancouver. So I'm taking Vancouver. I'm gonna lay the 160, and I'm going to definitely be on that game. The other one is Minnesota hosting Washington. It's another no-brainer. I don't have a line on that one, but I'm looking at that game to be close to like the 125, 130 mark in that one too. So I think it'd be good value in that Minnesota-Washington game. So those are my picks. Last week, 4-1, making you money again. Once again, this is the Pick Session. It's brought to you by Auto Magic Car Care. Check them out at automagiccarcare.com or give them a call, 215-322-2561. Mikey Primo, Matty Lydon, they're the best at what they do when it comes to cleaning up, shining up your car, making it look good. Whoa, you had a game last week?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I gave you guys another rousing loser last week.
Nice. What happens? It's going to happen.
But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. If you do follow me on Twitter, and if you do follow Sports Goombahs on Twitter, I did redeem myself come Thursday. I put it out there for everybody to play. Duke minus 8.5. I said it looked too easy. That means you jump on it. I don't hear. This screams this line. They were 8.5 point 8.5 point favorites to NC State. They won by 24. That was one of those games where you sit back by halftime and you counted your money. I did redeem myself. This week, I do have a play with a play-in game on Wednesday. We all know
the play-in game.
We all know the play-in games are played in Dayton. I would hope you guys would know that. It's 4 of them.
4 now. It should be 1.
We'll get into that. But yeah, the play-in games are always in Dayton. Right. And who's in the play-in games this year? Dayton. So they got a home game against Boise State. Dayton, 25-8 Dayton team -4 at home against Boise State.
Is that the Boise State football team playing in that one?
They probably have a better chance, but take Dayton -4.
Yeah. Okay.
And stick with me on Twitter all week. I'll have some plays. It's a great weekend.
Yeah.
NCAA tournament weekend. Yep. I'll be throwing them out there. Stick with me at Walpeezy at WALPEEZY.
Racketezia, Racketbreezia, whatever you want to call it. All right.
I lost mine.
Already?
No, my pick from last week was a loser.
Yeah. Well, we'll get in the brackets.
I'm batting 500.
You had a hockey game? What was that game?
Pittsburgh and San Jose.
That was a shitty hockey game.
Yes, it was.
I watched
it. Was supposed to be wide open. Well, who knew they were going to play defense?
I'm on a game tonight. I'm on Toronto and Edmonton over to 5.5 tonight. Two bad hockey teams. Edmonton looked like they were trying to change. They score goals. Toronto's terrible, man. Toronto, there's no goaltending up there, no defense. They may be worse than the Flyers. Not sure. Being that they're Canadian, they still got that edge or whatever. They do have a shooter or two on it.
Yeah, last week I was following your picks. And the first one that came off was the Flyers, Dallas. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Rough start. And then I just see W. I'm like, all right. Yeah. We can brag next week.
Don't worry about the king. He knows what he's doing.
He does.
All right. I'm here for a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but I'm here. So, by the way, next week, if you want to join us, we're going to have, and he's been here before, Steve Austin, he's our resident martial arts guy, BJJ.
That's not Stone Cold, correct?
No, not Stone Cold. Though somebody did get confused by that one time, way a long time ago. We had a radio
I was wondering
show.
why we had 500,000 views that week.
Yeah. What happened to Steve Austin? He got off steroids. Look at him.
Grows hair out.
He's the owner of
Siam Brazilian
Jiu-Jitsu and in Southampton, PA. He's going to be opening up, and he's going to come in next week and promote, talk a little MMA. and a little healthy lifestyle, because other than beating the crap out of people, the man knows a healthy lifestyle.
It's not all about just
no,
fighting.
If you can't last 2 minutes in the ring,
it ain't our fault.
It ain't Steve's fault. But he's going to join us next week, next Monday night. So tune in for that. That'll be good, and you will learn something. All right. So we were talking about a little hockey in there. We're going to get into a little NHL right now, if you don't mind, guys.
I love it.
This is where, I said last week, this is where hockey now it kicks in. Now what I'm seeing now is it's everybody's beating everybody.
Everybody's you don't know who's going to show up each week.
And it's even the good teams, not just the good and bad. It's the good teams. You don't know. And like I keep picking on Nashville, which I thought was one of the best teams in hockey 2 months ago, and they were playing like it, and they fell apart. And then you see a team like Minnesota come over and take on, and then you watched our local team here all of a sudden come out and dump St. Louis.
Yep.
And no problem. And who did they beat after that? They beat them. To go back, they had a big win. There was Boston. No, they lost to Boston. Mm-hmm. They beat somebody. It wasn't. I forget who it was. I just have to look it up. Anyway, my point being is that it's open hockey right now. I really thought this is when it gets tightened up. I mean, there's 12 games left. The majority of teams have 12 games left for hockey, and it's sloppy hockey is what I'm seeing all the way around.
I'm just going to comment on this because one of the scores is final in a shootout. Washington and Buffalo 4-3 final in a shootout.
In goals Washington, right?
Goals like crazy.
There is no reason why Buffalo should be in a game in Washington.
Nope.
Okay, no reason at all, and that's what I'm talking about. And how many goals Ovechkin had tonight?
I'm looking at that now.
He had 2 goals and assists, right? 2 goals and assists. He's drinking a bottle of vodka in the locker room, saying, "No."
Nope. No goals.
No goals, right?
Nothing.
That's why they won.
Yeah, there's no reason to let Buffalo score 3 goals in that game in this time of year. But once again, that's what Washington does in hockey. But like I said, the usual suspects are starting to rise to the top as they do every year. Chicago's playing well. St. Louis, of course, they're starting to make their move on Nashville because Nashville's letting them move on.
Not a surprise. Tell me the surprise. Like, who was off your radar all season? And we made a joke about it at the beginning of the season to keep an eye for. And if you've been following us, your dark horse. I think it was either yours or mine. I'll have to go back and look at this.
What,
Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal quietly,
without snuck up there, and
they are beating everybody. And and I can't name one player on that team.
Nope.
Not one. You know what? And I say that right now is I pretty much can't name any players in the NHL. I'm kind of
you can name a lot. You
know what I'm saying. It's like you like we talked about it before. Back in the day, every team had a player you knew about. You knew they had there
were less teams and more, and it just seemed like there were more superstars because you were geared up. You saw them more. Let's face it, like when it was the Patrick division, you knew everybody. You knew everybody because it was a smaller.
Were you alive in the Patrick division years when the teams were called names? No.
Is that a serious thing?
Is that a serious thing?
And if he was, he probably
don't disrespect hockey in my building.
He wouldn't remember it anyway because he wouldn't have watched it. Even I think he was negative 10 years old at that point. 10. So yeah, you saw these teams more because they played more games in their division. And It was a treat for you to see somebody in the other conference. Remember, it was a big deal because of the time difference, and all that. 30 years ago, flying across the country was a lot, a lot more difficult.
Nashville has dropped out of first place. St. Louis has caught them, and the Blackhawks are tied with them pretty much. I said tied number-wise. They're under 4 points back, which is a lot, I guess, in hockey with 12 games left. But either way, the Blackhawks are playing good hockey. They're just, they're flirting around with their playoff spot. They got a good spot in the middle right there. They'll come in there at a 6 seed, 5 seed, and work their way to the top. And the team. You say Montreal, and Montreal has the best record. Well, they have the second best points record in the league, but quietly have stormed hockey very quietly. There's no fanfare about them at all. I mean, Price is still their goalie, I believe, right?
Hamburglar? Is that what they're calling him?
Yeah, Hamburglar. Right. Yeah, they do. They throw hamburgers at him. Right.
Because he steals everything.
Right.
He made some great saves.
The other team I had, too, that I'm focusing on now, that I'm watching closely, it's not one of my teams that I'm looking at, is the Rangers, quietly. Nash is finally, his footprint is over there. He's been there 2 years now, and now he's
settled in. I think the right players around him.
Yeah,
It took
yeah,
them
he does,
a
yeah.
little bit of shuffling.
Well, when you
and
have a
all
goalie like that, he's golden there. Lundqvist is, he's
Gold Jerry.
Yeah, he's definitely golden. He's, when you have that in the net, you're comfortable out there, and you're comfortable with making a mistake because your goalie is gonna most likely 9 times out of 10 save you out there when you have a goalie like that.
And we said a couple weeks ago on the show that Boston was not a good team, and all of a sudden they're right back in the thick of it again, aren't they?
Well,
they string together a couple winning streaks there, and boom, they're not far out.
They're in a playoff spot. I mean, they got 82 points, and I say that, but maybe not. The Flyers are still in there, but once again, and the Caps are dropping down as they do. They're in their spot. They're in the 4th spot where they always are. But I look here at the standings, and I see the teams, the usual suspects at the top: Anaheim, St. Louis, the Rangers, and Montreal. That's how it's been running. And the secondary teams are same usual suspects. And this year, all I see different when I look down at the standings is I see the New York Islanders. Okay, a team that I've been following all year, and they're still on my market. I haven't dropped them yet because they haven't shown any consistency of losing whatsoever. Very good hockey team. It's not their time yet, but I'm telling you, this New York Islander team will be a Stanley Cup contender next year and the year after.
Oh, definitely.
They keep their pieces together, and they go to a new stadium and all that stuff. It's perfect how they orchestrated that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, we went to a couple and we orchestrated it the right way.
I guess the disappointment this year would be San Jose. They had their window closed with their type of team. They fell apart.
And you know what? They decide. I don't know what they thought they were doing. They looked like they were going for broke there, but they tried to build it with free agencies and trades instead of bringing their guys up like the Islanders did. And then it came to a point where, guess what? It's much like the Flyers. You've got all the potential that you're going to get now.
Right.
And San Jose pretty much gambled 2 weeks ago and said, you know what? We're going to trade away for draft picks and cut our cap, and we're going to sell us. We're going to worry about it next year.
Right.
They pretty much gave up on a season 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, another team that's surprisingly hot right now with goal scoring would be, and I've been watching them too, is Calgary. I mean, this team's scoring, 5-6 goals a game. Even when they're losing, they're scoring 3 to 5 goals. There's a team to watch when it comes to putting the puck in the net. Problem is they're not stopping the puck, but they're starting to climb now. They're streaky. They win 4, they lose 4. They win 4, they lose 4. You know what I mean? It's that kind of year for them, but they're getting better. They had a nice road run here where they were like almost 8 games on the road, and I think they were 4-3 on the road trip. And I got to watch one of them in Philadelphia where they won 3-2. I think there was another shootout loss by Philly, which is just the way things are.
Well, that's just the worst part is, and I was starting to say about it, Mason earlier. What poor, and I feel bad for anybody usually, but you go to shutout and you go to freaking overtime, and a team's and you're screwed because they scored 1 goal a game before, 1 goal a game after. And you're going to a shootout with nothing,
right?
Nothing going in. It's you're pitching a shutout, and you got nothing, and you're not going to get a win because nobody's going to score. It's
discouraging for your team too. I mean, as a player, you're breaking it, and you don't have a chance. If you look back on the season for Mason, you're going to look back and say, "Wait, a rotten year." The wins and losses, his goal average will be even his goals against average will be okay, but he's going to have a bad year. The wins and losses because of team around him. Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
He's been over there typing, get his NBA crap together. I don't know. What are you going to do about that stuff? That's just the way hockey is right now. But once again, 12 games left before the season starts.
You've been talking about this for the month, 2 months now, where this is where it matters.
Yeah.
This isn't me just I'm not joking.
No.
I'm saying you've been talking about this, so now it's finally that time. You keep saying it's 2 months away, it's 1 month away, it's 2 weeks away. All right, this is the time.
Yeah,
now.
when NCAA tournament starts, that's when
hockey starts.
That's when hockey starts. Yeah, it's every year the same thing.
And it's one of those sports. Like I can sit down there. I can't watch. Let's just say any football game. I can't
Crazy?
watch it. No, I can't. I really can't. Sometimes I don't have unless I have a vested interest in it. It's not. I like it, but I can watch any hockey game during this time of year.
Yeah.
This time of year, I live for the playoffs. I'll watch series. I'll watch the Western Conference series. I like it. Playoff hockey is another thing. Playoff football is another thing. Baseball, American League, I could care less about. I mean, I really don't. It's not, and you'll find out in our top 3.
Baseball, I can't focus on baseball right now.
Nope.
Baseball, it's not worth the conversation available to us. Well, we're going to talk a little bit of that in a little bit because preseason ball really gets everybody excited. So as far as the hockey is concerned, I mean, like I said, I look at the usual suspects at the top, and it's going to be, I think, right now looking at everything I've watched in hockey at this point, the Edmonton score 4-0 over Toronto. And that's the first period, right? There you go. Anyway, when I look at hockey right now, I see, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think the New York Rangers make it to the Stanley Cup this year. And I think they're going to end up playing Chicago. For the most part. That's what I think. It's going to be New York, Chicago this year. I know people are saying Chicago's not good enough and they've gotten old or whatever. I just think for some reason they're going to be the team that sneaks up there again because I think they got the most talent at this point. That's my guess right now. That could change towards the playoffs. I'm just from what I can see right now. Montreal, yes and no. You know what I mean? It's
Tampa Bay.
What's that?
I can see Tampa Bay going.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's got the talent. I mean, they got the.
If I had to pick right now, I would say that.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. I just
Tampa Bay Blackhawks.
I'm going with the goalie. I think who's getting it done out there, and that's what I say. I think Nash and between Nash and his ability, and there's so many possible dark horses out there because right now it's a wide open NHL. With the usual suspects.
I would have said coming down to I just if you look at it and you look at the matchups in the Western, any of those games are going to be good games.
Yeah.
I at this point, I really don't. I'm looking forward to seeing it start, just because I know it's going to be some good hockey coming.
Yeah, that's it. Mike, before we go on to the next subject, Mike, you got anything to say about hockey?
Yeah, I gotta say it's a sport.
It's a sport.
Yeah. I know Canada made it famous.
And ironically, it's not the national sport of Canada.
Rugby is.
Lacrosse.
I know.
Lacrosse? I was gonna say the broom one.
What's the broom one?
What's the one where we sweep?
That's not a sport.
Hard curling.
Curling. Yes, I thought curling was just.
I went to Switzerland in 1985, right after freaking Nova won their championship, and we went to this place, and first time we saw curling, and we were in Interlaken, Switzerland. We saw this. About 20 of us went, and we were gathering in a place. We were going to find a hockey game, and this is what we came to. But what was crazy about it, if you watch the Olympics and you watch curling, I mean, the brooms look like they're professional made brooms with fiberglass sticks, and the whiskers are
fresh off the Walmart rack. You know what I mean?
But when they were doing it there, it was like these discs, okay, and they were using brooms, sweeper brooms, and that's what they were using.
Like a Swiffer wet jet?
No jet, no, not yet. It was just like a regular broom that you would clean the kitchen floor with, and that's what they were using, And then they had these little sticks too, or something like that at the end. It's almost like they had the brooms, and at the end, they had these little, almost like toothbrushes, just like whisking away real small. Like they had a second device. It wasn't a sport to us. It was embarrassing. The fact that people were cheering this stuff on,
You don't see basketball courts on every street corner. You saw curling.
And
little setups.
And the way and it's funny because you watch Olympics how they glide into it. It's like a slow motion bowling thing coming down, and they just slide that thing.
What does it remind you of? Like a big shuffleboard table?
That's what it is.
Yeah, on ice.
It's like it's like they had. It's exactly what it is. Like they had a shuffleboard court there, and they couldn't slow it down.
Somebody got drunk and said, we're drinking out on the pond.
What it was
this would be
good.
They
wanted to play shuffleboard, but it was middle of December, so
right.
let's go on the ice.
Let's throw some rocks on the ice.
They figured the slower we push this thing, the farther it's going to go, because that's how it is when you smooth it out on the ice. It's how smooth can you get that ice with the broom? Because you got to figure, what's the broom pushing away, left to right?
Just the grit, the friction.
But left to right, yeah, right. So it's smoothing it out.
It's smoothing it out, yeah. So there's less friction.
All the curling fans are going nuts right now. They've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Well, I went ape shit on this on the midst of the Olympics when we were doing the Olympics. I was all over the curling. It was fun. I just think I want to go. I want to get drunk. I want to do drunk curling. That's why
I don't do anything.
Chug some beers. Let's go do. But
it is funny
curling.
that during the Olympics, the most boring things that you would never even consider putting on, you'll find yourself watching because it's the Olympics.
What else is weird about
you'll never watch the moguls on NBC Sports on a Thursday, but when it's in the Olympics,
yeah. And it's funny because the curling is done on ice. They're not wearing skates. They're wearing sneakers
Yeah.
or shoes or
No, they
whatever.
got one foot with a claw and one foot with like a bowling.
You know
Is that
way
right?
too much about
Yeah.
curling.
I didn't know that. I
I don't know
thought
you're the
One
curling
foot with a pick,
ambassador.
They push off.
Yeah.
It's like, what are those those sneakers the kids would wear, the rollies or whatever?
And they have the knee pad on the one, so
Yeah.
you go down on the knee pad like the drywall
Only
knee pads
one.
or whatever.
Only one,
Yeah.
though.
Or the tile floor guy that wears the knee pad on that.
Yeah, they do that and they push themselves along like
The chef, he's got all your curling needs over there.
That's insane, man.
when we comes back on, I'm waiting every 4 years. My expertise on curling is I'm going to say over under four stone.
I'm glad I can go to him on
Yeah, that'll be your plays. You'll have the hockey, you'll have the basketball,
Right.
you'll have your curling lines.
Right.
Got to take Great Britain -4 today.
I don't even know how to score.
-4 stone.
I couldn't tell you how to even score.
No, I don't
Wait,
know.
does that curling thing, does that knock into something or just another disc?
It knocks.
knocks-
You want to get in the
like-
center of the
yeah.
circle. I know that.
Yeah.
You want to
like
get a
a
bullseye.
target,
Yeah, you want
yeah.
to get a bullseye.
Yeah. It's not like hopscotch, right? They can
No.
knock
Well, you
Wow.
can knock it out. You can knock it out just like any other thing. Yeah. You play the front, you play the guard.
Yeah.
He's got strategy. You got a strategy guide.
That's too funny. That's unbelievable. All right, let's take a break. We're just passing the 10 o'clock hour here. Sports Goombahs. Don't forget again, give us a call, 267-563-2893. We're live at the 515 studios here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, where it all goes down. We're powered by the sportsgoombahs.com, which is the #1 site for articles.
Is it?
I read an article.
Do you?
In fact, I got it.
You never told me that.
Wait a minute. Well, time out here.
Yeah.
You never went on the website?
I go on the website to go to the show.
Yeah, but down below there's an article.
Once I get to that show, I mean,
The article, I have
lose
one now. It's been up there for a while, but it's an interesting one. It's one of many that I've had. In fact, I think when I first met you, I was sending you some of my articles.
Yeah, you gave me one. I'll give you some fresh content.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. I'll give you your own page for crying out loud.
There we go.
Look at this guy. Give this guy a platform. I give him a microphone, a nice hat with a W on it, representing the show here, and he don't go on the site.
I go on the site. I go to the show.
I'm reading
You
the
don't
article
scroll
right
down?
now so I don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Now viewing a pro football game live is as virtual as you can get.
Okay, you want to read it out loud?
April 12th, 2014.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. That's when I read it. Cash the King. I got my chef to the left. Brendan B. Michael Wall over there causing trouble. Sports Goombahs. We will be back in a couple. See if we can get this right this time, right?
We do our own commercials.
Yeah. Hi, Cash the King from Sports Goombahs. Listen, shop 344tees.com for your favorite men's, women's, and kids apparel. T-shirts, hoodies, sweats, and more. With every name brand available. My man Larry Gilman will take care of all your printing and embroidery needs. Whether it's for business, sports, organizations, or maybe you're just opening up a pizzeria. 344tees.com will get it done. Call now, 844-542-2774. That's 844-542-2774. Their customer apparel marketing team are available not just to only give you the product you need, but give you the support and customer service that best matches your goal and budgets. Call 844-542-2774. That's 344tees.com.
BZI Group Inc. for your individual and small group health insurance needs. BZI offers free instant online insurance quotes and applications from major health insurance carriers. The BZI Group is dedicated to a no-nonsense approach to health insurance. They focus on giving you the insurance you need in a timely and cooperative manner. Whether you're looking for individual and family, group, seniors, life, or long-term coverage, BZI can help. For additional information or to speak with an insurance expert, call 1-800-431-4834 or email them at www.bzigroup.com.
Stop paying your bookie each week and start collecting. They have the best handicappers in the world, all in one place. And their only job is to win you money. Check Jeff Brandy's and all the experts at trendbetting.com. Trend betting theory is simple. Trends dominate in sports, and you will win in the long run by following the dominant trend. You will lose in the long run if you buck the dumb, they're trending. Simple enough. That's trendbetting.com.
When you need a good roof over your head, call Seal Roofing. They've been keeping folks warm and dry for many years now and are proud of their work. Seal Roofing and Contracting does it all, whether you need simple repairs before the next big rainy season or a whole new roof. Maybe you need new siding or windows. You can be certain that when you hire Seal Roofing, you're hiring the best. Available 7 days a week with 24-hour emergency service and free estimates. Call 215-533-4066. That's 215-533-4066 or visit sealroofing.net.
Has your home or business been damaged by a recent storm and you're left to deal with the insurance company to make things right? Turn to Apple Public Adjusters and meet owners Patrick O'Donnell and Mark Stendardo. If you've suffered recent storm damage to your home or business, call 267-538-3373. That's 267-538-3373 and protect your rights and maximize your benefits.
And we're back. Kashakir. Chef is to my left. Wakita Walt is to my right. We are Sports Goombahs. Powered by the sportsgoombahs.com. You know what I'm talking about. www.thesportsgoombahs.com. Every night, any night, you need sports action. Tune in. Cash the King, he will give you winners 9 times out of 10. Documented. All right, let's get into NCAA basketball. Everybody and their mother has got a bracket. If you're in an office, you got a bracket. If you're at the gas station, you got a bracket. If you go to a bar, oh, there's a bracket.
If you're listening to our show, you can get in our bracket.
You go to our, what was that, man? Is that bracket guy?
That's that bracket.
He's EOing, man. Anyway, you go to sportsgoombahs.com or www.sgshow.net and you log on and you just fill in you become your Yahoo.
Yeah, you gotta go to Yahoo.
Yeah, it's a quick Yahoo email or whatever, or Yahoo. Very good, B.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, that was nice. You know, stay after the show tonight. Record that for me. Get in with us. We got a $50 gift certificate. $50 cash. No taxes. Keep it to yourself, by the way. We have Sports Goombahs hoodie coming to you. Custom hoodie with a hood. Any size you wish. Plus, we're going to throw a couple other gift cards. A couple of restaurants. We don't know yet. See who's going to sponsor us.
Basically, you got a good package coming your way, and all you got to do is pick some winners.
That's it. Pick some winners.
You got to beat us.
The
pros.
Us. Yeah, we're the pros. You know, I know my college basketball like
I know my hockey.
Yeah. I got a big problem. It's the 10 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Tony's, the king of pizzas in Ben Salem. Got you on Ben Salem Boulevard. They deliver everywhere in Ben Salem. How far? That's far they go. A little further than that.
They'll venture.
Come up to
they'll
the
venture
Levittown.
Levittown.
They go to Levittown.
They'll venture in there. Yeah,
okay.
They're right in the border.
The border. Give them a call, 215-638-1090. That's Tony's, the king of pizza. Check them out online for their huge menus. They got that pizza that what's called the meat pizza?
Meat lover.
The meat lover pizza. The pepperoni on it.
Ask for Joey. He's your go-to.
Joey's the go-to guy. He is part of the show.
But make sure you tell him the Goombahs section.
Oh, yeah. You tell him the Goombahs says you get a couple extra pieces of pepperoni, some extra sausage on there, man, and a little tender loving care on your pizza pie. That's Tony's King of Pizza, our sponsor for the 10 o'clock hour. All right. So, the majority of people that play these brackets just guess. And it's the first round's there's always a couple upsets. Although I look at this one here, I think the upsetters are the upsetters. And there's a couple games here where both are upsetters.
Every year
they're in here.
Every year I look at it and I'm like, I know there's gonna be 6 major upsets, but I can never tell which ones they are.
Right.
So you said it's a lot of guessing game. You're predicting the future. I mean, we're not gonna be great.
I went with our boy Jeff Brandy's. I took his St. John's though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can tell you now I did not. So
yeah. Now, we were talking about before, I'm looking here at the get-in games, which, what do you call them? The
Play-in games.
Play-in, whatever. I remember when it was one game, right?
I remember when it was no games.
No games, right. Well, now there's 4. It's like everybody's getting a shot now. Now you're starting to see colleges that you never heard of before. What's Miss BYU?
That's Ole Miss against BYU.
Okay, so that's the playing game now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's whoever. Okay,
the playing games have nothing to do with the small schools. They're going to get in regardless.
Right.
They did it so they can get more. So you can get an 18-13 Oklahoma State team in. What?
Money.
What? Like
money. That's
so you're telling me only 5 times they won and they lost, and they're a tournament team. It's getting to the point where it's like bowl games where there's 7, like 70 of them, and half the teams are getting in.
Well, and once again, CBS Sports, NCAA,
more games
teams,
and more money.
They're going to fill in over there in Dayton. It's going to be busy.
Yeah,
they're going to sell some more hot dogs, beers. They sell beer. They sell beer,
of course.
And outside concessions, the money that's going to be made with those 4 games. That's
we'll get the first 8 playing games in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's it.
Then it's just going to be 168 or 128 teams.
They'll start the playing games at the beginning of the year, so now there's no more league. It's just all playing in. Well, it's once again,
and the thing is,
money.
They're expanding the tournament,
right?
While also, and there's always the NIT,
right.
But now you have the CBI. You have I think there's the CIT. There's NIT. 4 tournaments now.
The National Invitational Tournament.
There's 4 tournaments.
That's a joke.
Which bring it to a total. I don't know the number. I think it's about 200 some teams out of 350 are going to a tournament.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see the NBA playoffs done like this.
Let them all in. Don't even play a season.
Yeah, it's you're playing the season to get your spot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And have the NBA play one game, boom, end of the story.
Of course, that would be interesting. Of course, in any sport that'd be interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, especially basketball, where it's it's so drug. You know who's going to be at the end, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hockey would be nice like that too.
Where it would come into great, what would be great entertainment would be baseball.
Yeah.
Because even the worst team in the league, if you have one ace, you're in the game.
Yeah, you're in the game,
mm-hmm.
right?
And even the Phillies be in a game. We got Cole out there. We got a shot.
Not after you saw him pitch.
Sadly, we are the worst team
now. You see him pitch today, man. What did he give up 9 runs the first time?
Did he play University of North Tampa
today?
He
got skunked today, man. I don't know. I think Cole's overrated. If you ask me, from the way he's been playing, I'm getting off this. We'll get to that later. We'll stay. Is Kentucky? Should we take Kentucky out of the play here? Are they that good that they should be? Taken out of the mix.
You're basically what you're doing if you're going to try to beat the Goombahs, you got to pick the other 3 Final Fours.
Yeah,
because Kentucky's going to win it all. That's already set in stone. That is going to happen.
They're that good.
They're that good.
Yeah.
They're that much better than everybody else to the point where you're basically just trying to gain as many points along the way before Kentucky inevitably wins.
It's a matter of it's how many points are they going to score against these teams? I mean, I watched a couple Kentucky games just so I get to see what I was looking at, and I thought that Duke was good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even close to this.
No,
they're not even the same ballpark.
They're not.
And Duke should be. If you take them out of Duke now is a better team without Kentucky in there. They might even be have a chance to do it again this year, but. I watched Kentucky on the court, and that's not fair.
When you have like 9 NBA players on a team.
It exactly looks like
some teams hope to have 2.
Yeah,
obviously the small teams don't have any. They have 9.
If you think about it, at least 6 of those guys are going to be an NBA squad. At least.
I was going to say they have like legit 9 NBA players.
I know you say it, but usually somebody drops off. But you look at that team. That's
they have bench players who are like lottery picks. Like it's ridiculous. And it's funny because like. I wasn't funny, but I'm a little upset that they play the winner of a playing game because I want to see their line now. Whoever they play in that first round, the 1 versus 16, that line's gonna be at least 35, 40 points.
Who's their center? They play a center game, or
they have 2 7-footers. Their backup center is a first rounder.
But they play a center game with a guy in the middle.
Cauley Stein, he's 7 foot. He'll be a top 5 pick.
He come in here.
If we get the Lakers pick, possibly.
Will we want them? Do we need?
No, we don't need another center.
Yeah.
We don't need another one.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now, well, he's getting better.
It's funny because I remember
Noel is starting to play a little better basketball.
Is.
He's getting, I still think he needs more meat on him. One way or another. The other guy making me sick, man. Who's the other dude? Embiid, or what's his name?
Embiid.
Yeah. Is he fragile or what?
Well, I mean,
he's
not historically fragile, but he just had an injury. He just had a bad injury.
Yeah, I don't know.
But apparently, he's doing 3-6 or windmill dunks or through the leg dunks in pre-games.
What's that all?
Because when you have a broken, you have a stress fracture in your foot, what you should be doing is through the leg dunks and landing hard on that foot. That's what you should be doing. And that's what he's doing. I think they said
that's like me with my rotator cuffs busted up and running the speed back. You serious?
No, it's it. He does like through the legs dunks. He does like all these dunks in pregame. That's like his thing. It's been his thing.
But that even though he's injured.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah, they caught some heat. He got some heat for people are saying like, oh, he's immature, blah blah.
I can't tell if he's serious or not.
I'm dead serious. It's just like, if you have a bad spinal cord injury, you got to start doing the worm and some breakdancing.
What I don't like about this bracket stuff is just that it's banged out on Monday. It's on Thursday. There's a lot of paperwork going all over the place. You fall asleep.
It's all electronic, man.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're still doing paper brackets, you're in the, you're in the olden days.
Yeah. It takes time to fill it out. That's
not online.
No, online. I did mine in like 45 seconds.
Boom, yeah. Boom.
No, I'm saying if you're focusing on it, you're just banging them out like bang.
But
bang,
see,
bang.
that's the thing is when you start overthinking things, I think the best thing to always do is just bang them out.
Yeah.
Well, how I did mine is what I did on the one side, on the Kentucky side, I did all the top teams. And then when they lost, whoever was the winner did the bottom teams. And then they went to the top, to the bottom, right across the other side. So it didn't really matter who was just top, bottom all the way through. Unfortunately, if you look at what I did, the top team's the higher seed team. So I took the favorites on most of the whatever. But
top team's always a higher seed.
I understand that, but my method was
I'm going to go with the winners every time. I'm going to go with the highest seed every time.
I couldn't give a crap.
And what's going to happen is there's going to be a girl's going to enter and just pick 1 through 8, 1 through 4, 1 through 6, whatever it is, and to still win it all. Because of course this will be the year of no upsets.
I won this twice,
and all the guys are going to overthink themselves.
I won this one year. Going back to the '90s, I believe. Oak State with Big Country.
Brian Big Country Reeves?
Brian, were you around for Reeves? Yeah.
I wasn't around for his college days, but I was there for his Grizzlies days.
His Grizzly days, right?
I was there for those.
I like this guy. He was like a hayseed
man.
The
definition of just big white stuff.
Yeah, big white stuff, but he was Big Country. He made it, and Oak State ran. They didn't get there. I had them, but I was the only one who had them in my crew. So even though I didn't win anything, the fact that they ran and got me the most points than anybody, I won the whole a couple grand. And the following years, my daughter was 2 years old. I had her pick my games.
You probably won.
We hit it, yeah.
It always happens.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was a thing her and I did from when even 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we just stopped it because we lost interest in it. But that's how we won the thing. Yeah. That's how it's done. It's done like that.
It's the guys who do know a lot and the guys who are like, oh, I'm really thinking Stephen F. Austin has a great shot. Like, it's the ones who overthink it that they're losing the first round.
It depends where you lose it at, though.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
If you lose first round matchups, it really isn't. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't matter. No, it's
when you start losing those Final Fours early.
Right.
I had to run.
I had the Sweet 16 is key. That's the key spot.
Yeah, but you can get by with that. If you have the Final Four, you're golden.
Yeah.
If you lose your champion early, just rip it up or delete your team on the computer because you're out. How many years in a row did Kansas lose in the second round?
Where's Syracuse at this year?
We would call them. They may want to do an interview because
get them on the phone.
First of all, they're not eligible. Secondly, they wouldn't have made it anyway.
I hear you.
That was a big beef. Everybody was disappointed about Temple around here.
They should have been in. They really should have, though. And it's not just. And it's actually not just the local people saying, "Oh, they should have got in."
Yeah.
Even the Billises and those guys, they said, "Yeah, they should have been in." UCLA, they said wasn't even on like the radar, and they somehow snuck in. So.
Yeah. Well, Kentucky from the I looked at Villanova. They're a 1 seed. I mean, I saw them yesterday get their 1 seed. They were that good this year.
Yes, the Big East was awful this year. It's not the old Big East.
I know.
It's not the
old
old Big
East. I'm looking at the whole division, the whole East and South division here. I mean, the power is coming from the other side, obviously.
Because the old Big East was, Syracuse and Louisville and Pitt and all these things. They're all ACC. It's all the Catholic schools left.
I look at the South and East Conference and the brackets here, and I watch how it's set up, and I don't. All the power's over here.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, no wonder Villanova thinks they have a shot. The only one I can see on this side, I mean, Michigan State. I mean, Duke. That's the only, and Duke's always a 1 or a 2.
I'm not going to reveal. I'm not going to reveal my picks because I want to beat you guys. I want to beat you people.
I don't even know what I picked.
I fill out mine online. Are you able to view each other's picks?
You will come Thursday.
Everybody.
Which, by the way, we got to remind you, brackets must be in by Thursday. I believe it's noon.
Yep.
Yeah, bang that
Eastern Standard Time.
We're gonna bang that on.
No, Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
We'll pump that on Facebook tonight.
Yeah.
And get that out there.
Like you said, it is on. You can go to sgshow.com.
It's free.
sgshow.net.
It's
a free chance to win. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do.
What are you gonna do?
The winner gets to come on the show. Now we're going to blindfold.
They're not gonna take my spot, right?
Yeah, we'll just move you over a little bit. That's
right.
all. But they can't see where the place is. We'll blindfold you. Bring you in. Let Vic sniff you a little bit. Make sure you're clean. That's what we'll do. If you can beat us, we're going to bring you on the show. Unless you're a complete hooligan. You know what I mean?
Plus, look at this. Let's look at the great prizes.
Yeah, that's true too. So, all right. So then, I don't got a whole lot to talk about the NCAAs until they get started. I have a big question mark here at baseball, and really all I can say is that I listened to some people and they get a little excited about Ryan Howard hitting a home run the other day.
It's like, used to hit 50 a year.
Yeah, and it's like that's not good enough. And now there's some talk about the team actually. And I heard these people calling the shows and like, really? I mean, what are you watching? You got a split squad. First of all, teams aren't even together. I mean, Cliff Lee is done. Hamels today looked like crap, and he looked so bad that he shouldn't even be looking this bad this time of year. I don't care what part of preseason it is.
Spring training.
Spring training. I mean, and the delivery nothing looked right today on the action that I saw. And there's gonna be no talk about baseball. I don't see a conversation going. If I can hear Freddie Galvis' name one more time about anything, the fact that this guy is the face of this team. Is this it?
Who? No. Always no.
I mean, who's the face of this team right now? It's
so Cole.
It is, but I keep hearing every time when you listen to
I hear Cole now. I hear trade rumors. That's all
he's got to go, man. There's no reason to keep him here, and I can't understand why Papelbon's still here. No one's wanted to pick him up. I mean, it's a big contract, but still, it's baseball. They got money. Nobody gives a shit about money in baseball.
It doesn't matter in baseball because whenever you trade a big name, you just eat the contract anyway.
What's Papelbon doing here? I mean, when is he going to get action?
I don't know. I thought he would have been gone by now.
What game is he closing? Why is he here? I mean, is his contract that hard that he can't dump him?
Because it's let's face it, he got a bad rap in Boston, and
but that doesn't matter.
Deserved or undeserved. He's got a bad rap in Philly, bad rep, I should say, not rap. He's difficult to work with. He bitches. He's not a team player,
and he's not throwing 100. He's not throwing 98 anymore,
and he's not pitching as well as he did in the past. So combined
every team outside of Ruben realized this years ago that you don't overpay for closers. You don't because you can make one. You can make them so easily. It's not that hard to pitch one inning.
Yeah, and like what we talked about last week, closers and finishers are now becoming valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta coach the second half of your baseball game now because of pitch counts. And that's another strategy too. I mean, run the pitch count to the starter, but be careful. Because you better watch what's coming behind him. You're going to start to see some of your 7th and 8th inning pitchers be better than your starters at this time because there's shorter time but better pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said a couple of weeks ago that the guys who couldn't start games became your middle relief, which is it's not the way it goes anymore. Once the pitch count came into play, it changed the whole strategy of baseball.
It was about maybe 5-6 years ago when the big sign was, when Aroldis Chapman first came in the league from Cuba, and he was supposed to be this, throwing 101 miles an hour starter. He never started at all. They put him right in closer, and he's been one of the most dominant closers for the past half a decade now. And that's what I'm saying. That's what you're going to see now.
If you look at the way you have to coach baseball or manage a game, it's like, and I always used to say, you imagine the next game too, depending on the pitchers. And you watch how a team abuses your pitchers by making them pitch full counts, pitch count, and you got to worry about it. This guy goes, you got to bring your relief guy in too early. You're now losing them for the next game the way they control these guys. So now it's become not with the pitching. Now it was like that back then with the pitching with your ace and your closer, and is he going to be able to pitch tomorrow or the next day? Now you got to worry about your relief because it's all in the same ballpark. So the strategy of the game now becomes a full week of coaching.
Oh, absolutely.
At this point.
And I think that's where, if you look down the list, that's where Sandberg comes up short. I think he is much. He's still got that player mentality where he's living in the moment. What can we do to win this game?
Right.
And you know what? That worked even as much as 10 years ago. That worked, but nowadays, not anymore.
Got to depend on your bench coaches now to keep track of this stuff. The pitch count dictates the entire week of baseball to you, depending on when it comes in. You get Cole Hamels out there, and you got to pull him in the 5th because he's overworked. Now you got the 6th, 7th, and 8th. You got to run pitchers out there. Now you got to think you're playing the same team tomorrow. You're playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're playing at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So now it's becoming, and I understand that's why you play series against teams. That's why baseball is about playing, 4 and 3 games against.
Well, the travel would be travel would be a nightmare if you played one and left.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, that's part of the strategy of the game is that you're there. The object is to win the series.
Yeah.
Not to win one game; it's to win 2 out of 3. Come out of there with a positive win. And that's baseball for the most part. So the strategy of playing game to game is there, but now it's become extra hard.
It's out of all the sports, it's the most strategic.
Yeah. If I use this guy right now, I can't use him again tomorrow. It's that kind of thing. You have to start thinking, is it worth it at this point?
And you got to look in the American League, too, where they're not pitching. So it's even different then now. Nationally, you're talking about, you're bringing a guy in the 5th inning, you're a pitcher, relief pitcher, and unless you're pulling him for 1 inning and he comes up to bat and you're going to keep him in there and you want to keep him in, now if he's coming up to bat, he's got to go too. There's more strategy. So baseball managing has become way more than just a guy who knows his X's and O's and hitters and stuff like that. His strategy. It's almost like he's got to have a laptop in front of him computing shit. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, in the booth, they probably do. They're going to have coaching in, somebody who's just out there doing stats like the NFL does. For the most part, NFL they got people working behind the scenes all over.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's what the headsets are for.
Yeah, the headsets, everybody. It's like, like I said, the NFL is not about what's going on in that field. It's about everything that's going on around the actual play.
You don't think that somewhere up the hallway and around the corner, there's a guy on a laptop looking at this and looking at that, listening to the game live,
Binocular city,
Yeah.
Cell phone city. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. But baseball is more strategy now than it ever was. And just throw in the instant replay now, too. You got to think about that. It's almost like, and now they're changing now. I don't think
I liked what they're doing.
They're not going to come out to the field anymore, right? They changed that.
You have to call it right away from the dugout. You can't come out and stall. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't love the fact that they're doing it, but I love that.
And
I love
all
that
of a sudden, they're keeping the guy in the box has kind of faded away already in spring training. I watched Howard the other day get out of the batter's box, stand out there for a good 30 seconds, and no one said anything to him. It's almost like the rule has already been forgotten because
that's going to be such a hard rule to enforce.
Yeah, they were supposed to enforce it during the spring training because they wanted the guys to get used to it.
It's like you said,
First week they did it. You saw guys jumping in and out of the box.
But with football, you had to late game, you lose 5 yards. In baseball, it's not hurry up. No, you have a strike. You can't just give him a strike because he didn't get in time. Like, they can. But they're not going to do that.
If the pitcher throws the ball, then they get what it's there.
All right. I mean, if that's what they're going to do, but
the thing is, it's that you're right. It's the way baseball is. The balls and strikes. It's not like you can afford to throw a strike at somebody. Okay, strike 2 on you. Yeah. Now you just change the pitch. You change everything. The whole.
But you were saying with the pitcher throws you out to strike. Well, now that pitcher tries to force it because he sees you're not in the box and he can throw it.
Yeah.
What if there's a ball now? He just forced a ball that he wouldn't have normally thrown.
Right. Yeah, it's
going to be a weird situation.
You know what it is? It has to be the players themselves have got to come together and say, look, we got to move this game on. Because the whole idea is it's about time. It's about how long these games are taking.
I mean, I'll be honest. I frankly I don't care. I don't really mind the time. I mean,
I won't. Probably the only one I don't mind.
I won't watch a Yankees Red Sox game because I know it's going 4.5 hours, and because I don't have a vested interest.
But it's funny
too. When it comes to a Phillies game, I'll sit there for 3.5 hours. I don't care.
I don't mind that
because it's kind of it's background noise. You're not really sitting there intently like, oh, hey, come on. Like
I was gonna say, it's background. You turn it on at 1 o'clock game. You turn it on Sunday.
Oh,
you're
that's
doing everything around the house, whatever. You can go to the store, come back, the game's still on.
Yeah, that's the best.
It's one thing. An inning can go 5 minutes or it can go 35 minutes. There's no time in baseball, and that's the problem with baseball. There is no time limit in the game.
You said the problem.
No. When I say a problem, well, it is a problem to TV.
Yeah, but shouldn't they be loving this? Shouldn't be? They're getting more time, more ads.
No,
more
because you can't because you're cutting into other people's time. If Comcast is putting on a 1 o'clock game and it's running till 5,
they want you done by 4.
Yeah, they want you added. They got other programming that's got to be, especially NBC. They got other people that
but is NBC playing baseball?
Well, no, who's carrying the baseball? Fox. Yeah, I mean Fox. That's what I mean. Well, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Fox has got they got to get in the other advertisers and their time slots. Some of them don't advertise during baseball. It's like when we were on the radio. We got pushed around because of certain things went too long.
Money needed to be made somewhere else other than us.
Right. But the games, some of those hockey games went too long. Phillies games went too long. And, all of a sudden we got pushed away. And, our advertisers were upset about that.
Yes.
And you could just think of that.
Rightfully so.
Right. You think of that in a bigger scale. You don't tell Coca-Cola or Nationwide, hey, look, you're sorry. You got bumped tonight. You spend
Toyota.
Right, you get $30 million on an average. Yeah, right. Well,
because Toyota, the turning point of the game was the fact that it went too long and we got booted off of ours,
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For the most part. I wanted to get into a little bit as I heard about Pete Rose today, as there's a opportunity with Rob Manfred, the new Don of the MLB, I call him. He's the next one. Looks like he's got a little bit of a latitude in him. The word I'm looking for, as far as
he's willing to listen, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's a plus for Pete Rose. I mean, what old is Pete Rose? He's got to be in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be upper deck there now at this point. Although he's got a young wife, I know that. Good for him. But the Pete Rose thing is a maybe there now. There's a maybe, and that's better than it's been for him in 20 years.
Yeah, Rose is 73.
73
He'll be 74
old.
in actually about less than a month.
Is he on borrowed time? I mean, put the guy in there already. What's the difference?
Well, I mean, I was gonna save this for my wall report, but you brought it up, so I'm gonna say my point. There's no reason he shouldn't be in. I mean, like I said, if he bet on games, whatever penalty he needed to serve, he served it. Let the guy in. I mean, you've let worse guys in than this. You let Ty Cobb in there. And who was a blatant racist. He openly tried to spike and hurt people. I'm sure he bet on a game or two in his career.
Damn racist.
Yeah, I mean, if Ty Cobb's in there,
when
you're talking about character, he should definitely be in.
Letting somebody in.
Hashtag let Pete in.
Yeah, it's trend it, baby.
Get it up there.
And here's the thing: it's one thing to let him into the Hall of Fame. It's another thing to let him back into baseball. Should he be allowed back in baseball? Very up to debate. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely, yes. I think so, because your accomplishments are your accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
There are people.
Yeah, you don't let him manage a game ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Put him in the Hall of Fame, he deserved
put
it.
Him in the Hall of
what
Fame.
he did on the field was worth, and it's not like he was doing steroids. You can say, okay, well, he wouldn't have been as good if so and so.
Exactly.
If anything, he would have had better numbers because wasn't he apparently betting against himself or was he betting for himself? I don't remember all the details about it.
You know what? It's up in the air.
I think what he said was I never bet against myself. I think that was like his main sticking point. As if that helped his case, but
I always rooted for my own team.
Yeah, I never bet against my team.
Sandbagged or anything.
I just had such confidence that I bet on me. But if that's the case, like I said, what he did on the field was because of his talent. It wasn't because he did something to enhance his talent.
Exactly.
He didn't cheat the game.
And that's the debate about the steroid guys and him. I mean, it's not, you're forgetting it's the rule of the land in baseball about betting, about being involved in gambling and that stuff ever since the Black Sox. It's the rule that was made in baseball, and he broke that rule. So that trumped everything.
And I understand
else.
You don't put him in 5 years after he retires. It's been 35 years since he retired, probably. Put him in. He deserves it. Don't let Pete Rose die not knowing he was a Hall of Famer, and then you put him in post-humanist or whatever it's called.
I always said that was their goal.
That was their goal. Yeah,
I've stated that many times. They're going to wait
That's messed up, though.
The year after he dies, he's going to be eligible. They're going to reinstate it, and they're going to go, this is the error of our ways. They'll let his kids enjoy it, his grandkids or whatever.
If I was Pete Rose Jr., I'd give him a big F you. You couldn't give him that one little glimmer of hope.
That was the old commissioner's thought would be, let him just rot, because that was his big. In the realm of everything that's going on, the stat is the stat. You can't change the stats. Mm-hmm. He did what he did on the field,
and he did it legally within his physical. abilities.
And you can't change that. And you do play with that, then you're tarnishing everybody else who comes around them stats, who goes to break them. It just doesn't make any sense. It is what it is. Doesn't matter what you do. It's like you said, it's all on the field stuff. Okay, that's what he did on the field. That's what the Hall of Fame is about.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your categories, you have your coacher, your coaching, and your players in there. What he did on the stats, that's where he goes at it.
He's still the hits king, right?
And he's the hits king. And now I'll tell you who is the real king of the show.
Now the Wall Report.
That's some serious stuff, man. That's the Wall Report, brought to you by the Sports Goombahs.
Yeah.
Mike comes to us every day with the news.
Every day.
And what's
not every Monday.
Every day. Every Monday. Yeah, sorry, every day. Monday.
But I'm catching up on the days we're not here.
That's right.
By the way, before we get to it, I do want to throw out there, O.J. Simpson's a Hall of Famer. He murdered 2 people.
Did he?
Alleged.
He did.
He's
it.
never convicted.
So, like I said, if O.J. is a Hall of Famer, Pete's a Hall of Famer. I'll drop it now. Hashtag let Pete in.
Let my Petey go.
All right, so I do want to kick off the Wall Report today with some breaking news. If you want to play our breaking news music.
We have that?
No. But anyway, 49ers linebacker Chris Borland, he was a rookie this year. After Patrick Willis got hurt, he started the last, 10 games of the year, had 100-some tackles. Great player, won Defensive Player of the Week one week. He's retiring. Not hurt, nothing wrong with him. He's worried for his long-term health. He thinks that the head trauma that goes into being an NFL player is going to be too much for him, and he's retiring. After 1 year, had 100-some tackles. He was a very good player.
Walking from that kind of cash like that?
He was a third-round pick. He didn't even get that much cash, but future cash. He
what's he do? What's his other thing besides football?
I don't know. Nothing yet. I mean, he went to Wisconsin. Is that a good school?
Sounds like a guy who doesn't like playing football anymore.
No, apparently he's one of those guys undersized, like 5'10",
right.
White linebacker. He's probably been at the under the Rudy his whole life.
Maybe he got hit enough times.
No, he said he hasn't had a concussion since 10th grade. He's just concerned over what may happen to him.
Well, it's in the
this is big news. This is blowing up Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff now.
In the realm of things, if you think about it, if he looks around him, sees what happens to a football player when they're 50s.
Yeah, that's what he's read the. He said this isn't a spur of the moment thing. He's thought about this. He's consulted his family, his friends, his teammates, all that kind of stuff. And this is what he said he wants. He said, I don't want to be, one of those corpses walking around at 50. Right. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to enjoy my life with my kids, all that. I mean, you got to take a hat off to that. You got to respect that. But that takes some balls, especially considering the guy ahead of him just retired, right. Patrick Willis. This was going to be his team now. Yeah. That team's a mess. That team's a mess.
No coach, no player. If I'm the quarterback, I want out of there. Send me to Philly.
But they did bring in Reggie Bush, though. That's going to make a huge difference.
Well, he's got to be 10 years now, NFL, maybe more.
Not that long, but he's just not very good.
Seems like he's been bounced around since that New Orleans Super Bowl, right? That was it.
He went to Detroit, and now he's going to San Fran. But, yeah, I mean, he's not what we thought he was going to be. That's for sure.
He got Kardashian.
Yeah, he
got Kardashian. Other than that, what else we got today? It's a lot of, 68 teams now going dancing for the tournament. But only 67 of their coaches will be going dancing. As Georgia State's Ron Hunter tore his ACL, celebrated.
I saw that. Yeah.
Celebrated his championship win.
A coach.
That's got to go down there with the Grammatica right. And all the Heath Schuler. I think he did it. Banged his head. So.
Act like you've been there before.
He hasn't been there before.
Well, but I said act like you've been there before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. And the final score of that game, by the way, was like 38 to 36.
That's a big problem.
That's bad. That's Virginia bad. After that, we got Jeremy Stevens. You remember him? Former NFL tight end, former Seahawk. He formerly got arrested today. If you wonder what he got arrested for, last July he got a DUI while driving around the U.S. Women's National Team bus. So he was drunk driving with an entire U.S. national team in the back of his bus. He's married to the goalie Hope Solo. So
he's married to what?
The goalie Hope Solo.
Oh, okay.
Is he that low down where he's driving his wife's team bus around?
Listen,
the former NFL player. He made millions.
There's issues there.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues. Apparently, this isn't his first DUI either.
There's got an issue problem.
What else we got? Philadelphia's own Michael Buffer is in talks to do his one line for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Can you get him to do the show, man?
No, you can't. I can promise you can't. Because
hey, can't you do a buffer for me?
Yeah, but isn't it copyright infringement?
Exactly my point, by the way. Could be the reason is. Do you know how much he's going to get? What he's in talks for? Yeah, I want to hear it. Let's hear it. Actually,
you do a Michael Buffer.
Clear
Am I going to get in trouble for it?
Yeah, Peter, they're going to lock you up when you walk out of the studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. Right?
Yeah,
right?
Not bad.
It's not bad. We put you through the machine.
I like Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
commercials.
Put him through the auto tune.
Sports Goombahs. Not because they told me to, not because I just listen to it because I like it. Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. All right.
Well, anyway, Buffer gets paid. He's in talks to get paid over $1 million for one line. Over $1 million for about 30 seconds of work. What does that break down per hour? Yeah, but also my follow-up. Do you know how much his
60 million?
Do you know how
an
much?
hour.
Do you know how much he's worth? Net worth?
Gotta be a billionaire.
No, I'm not a billionaire.
300.
400 million. 400 million for one line. That's all he's done in his entire life.
When did he start that? Was during the Sugar Ray Leonard years?
I don't know how long he's been doing it for, but that's insane. If you're gonna pay a guy $1 million,
annoying, man.
He is annoying.
He is totally annoying, man. And his brother does it too, doesn't he? Does his brother do
He does it for UFC,
right? Yeah.
And he does like because UFC is a thing every like weekend.
And he's got that chopped up voice.
And he makes like nothing. He makes like 5,000, which of course is not nothing in real life. But
my brother is Michael Buffer.
Brother.
What's his name? Bobby Buffer.
Bruce.
Bruce Buffer.
It is Bruce. It's not Bobby.
It's Bobby Buffer, man.
Be the Vampire Slayer.
Will Ferrell, I'm sure you guys have heard.
No, I was going to talk about that.
He played minor league baseball, 10 positions for 10 teams in one day.
That was a minor league. That was.
I meant spring training.
And that was bogus too. I watched a couple of them. He threw one pitch, they took him out, they laid down bunts. I know it was for charity, but let him throw a pitch. You know, take a swing, take his head off or something.
He did. He batted twice. He struck out both times.
I didn't see him bat. I just saw him throw pitches. He looks old, man.
But the best part is, I gotta find this real quick.
But it was for charity, so that's the deal. You know what I mean?
Now you know the website that does all of baseball history. You know, baseballreference.com.
Right.
They created a Will Ferrell baseball reference page. He has his own now. It's got his height, weight, lists his age, his debut, has all his jerseys lined up. Look at this thing. If you go to his transactions.
Is it one where he's half naked? Because he's always half naked.
No, he's not. But his transactions are all March 12th. He was traded to Seattle for a comedic actor to be named Later. He was traded to the Cubs for a washing machine. He was traded to the Diamondbacks for a churro dog and a D-bat dog. He was claimed off waivers by the Reds to make room for them. To make room for Will Ferrell, they released Norm Macdonald. Then he was just traded for unknown compensation for the last couple of trades. Yeah, he has his own page now.
What's it for?
What is charity?
Yeah,
it was to raise awareness for some cancer, maybe, or something.
That's the thing. I couldn't figure out what it was for. They failed to mention that a couple times. Mm-hmm. It was all about the fanfare that was going on there.
According to this, he's eligible for arbitration in 2018. They have all this. He has his agent. They have everything. He's got a legit page. But the piggyback off that, John Madden was asked about it. He said Will Ferrell was making a mockery of the game. He's a disgrace. So John Madden's not a Will Ferrell fan, apparently.
John Madden's getting old.
He was old when he was coaching and commentating.
He commented on something else too recently. I forget what it was.
He said he was taking the place of young men who deserved the rightful spot. I mean, he played one.
Did you understand the whole concept?
He played a half of an inning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. John Madden. When Brett Favre left the NFL, that was the end of John Madden. He just totally lost. He couldn't take the fact that Favre retired, and that was just it was hard to him. It was hard for him. I think we went south when Favre.
Once him and Summerall were not together anymore.
That was Favre.
No, but him and Summerall, that was a good tandem, good voice tandem.
Tell him it was Favre.
It was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we mentioned to Jeffrey Brandis, Brandon Marshall is traded to the Jets. He wants his number 15, but unfortunately, Salim Hakeem is already that number. Hakeem has told him, "You can race me for it, and if you don't beat me, you got to give me $25,000." They showed the tail of the tape. Brandon
Jets.
Marshall's 30. He's a 30-year-old who ran like a 4.5 in college. Hakeem's 24 and he ran a 4.2. So I don't think Marshall's gonna be wearing 15 next year, unless he wants to find another way to wear it. If you recall, last week we did talk about DJ Swearinger from the Texans who stole his own truck. To avoid getting arrested, to avoid getting arrested, this is our weekly DJ Swearinger update. He did pay the $20,000 to do that, but this week also he was hanging out at his home with first overall pick Jadeveon Clowney, and Swearinger's pit bull bit Clowney, and Clowney went to the hospital. So Swearinger's having a rough week.
Now he's gonna have to go out back and shoot his dog.
What's wrong with these guys, man? You can't keep themselves straight. You know.
What is it with pro athletes and pit bulls?
They all love pit bulls, man. I don't get it. I don't see the interest in a pit bull. If one was offered to me, I'd say please get that away from me as soon as possible.
I have a lot of friends. I have friends with pit bulls. It's all owner. It depends who owns the dog.
Give me a little Vic.
Little Vic.
No pun intended, by the way. Can't say Vic and dogs too close together.
Little Vic, yeah, yapper. You know, slapping the head. Well, good watchdog though.
We also have this is actually not funny at all, but Mississippi State quarterback who was in the Heisman race last year, Dax Prescott, got jumped up.
Name's Dax. Forget about it.
DAX too. DAX. He got jumped and beat up at a Waka Flocka concert. If you're the starting quarterback,
be careful how you say that. You might get to the censors on that one.
But if you're a starting quarterback of a top 5 team and you get jumped, like you must not be liked. I mean that's just shame because he got like really beat. There was pictures of it and all that kind of stuff. Brandon, what last time you went to a Waka Flocka concert? How did you get beat up at all? You had a good time?
A flock of seals?
It sounds like something that Fozzie the Bear says. Waka Flocka.
Yeah, it is what he says, and I think it's with a rapper. It's a rapper, in case you're wondering. That's where he got it from.
Who's Fozzie Bear?
Muppets.
Oh. Come on, he's like 18 years old. He knows who the hell the Muppets
Fozzie
are.
Bear. I remember the name. I just remember what Muppets is.
Come on now.
I knew. I was a fan of Muppets. On Saturday Night Live, there used to be. Remember that with the Favois sitting in there? Remember that?
Yeah, they were cast members actually. Believe it or not, the Muppets were cast members.
No, I'm saying the first 2 seasons. The first season of Saturday Night Live when they had the Muppets on there, the Muppets, and they had that big fat Favois thing sat there with the lips moving and all. It was great. They had the little things.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Jim Henson.
To create them.
He's got his own show out of it though.
To create them was a great idea, but to put them on SNL.
No.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
No, I thought it was. I thought that.
It was okay.
No, I thought that was good. I used to wait for that. That was good. That was a good segment because it had some comedy to it.
I don't know what that.
Well, what it did is it pushed Jim Henson to a different level there. Now he was not only
he had the Muppets beforehand, right?
Sesame Street.
Yeah. So what? Sesame Street and Saturday Night Live, they don't go together.
Well, that's right. He's looking to start making some bucks, and then what happened then? Mrs. Piggy and then the Frog got their own movies.
The frog. Like he's Alpha or something. Yeah, that frog. The frog. He got his own movie.
Yeah, the frog. You know, whatever. What was his name?
That pig and the frog. The pig and the frog.
Anyway, they got their own freaking movie.
Yeah, I know they got a lot of spin-offs and movies.
Yeah, and then what about Elmo? Elmo kicked in there. I remember my daughter with the Elmo stuff. That was
my nephew loves Elmo.
Elmo got his own movie.
Now I know why. Tina Fey was in the last Muppet movie. That's why he knows who the Muppets are.
No, I was bad when Elmo's movie was the Elmo Palooza or whoever it was. What was the one where who's that? Miss America. What's her name was in it? I
don't know.
Rick Fox's wife. The ball player. No, the other one close.
Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams was in that one Elmo movie, man.
They're divorced now, by the way.
Half freaking naked, man, the whole time in the flick.
That's good family fun, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, there's the escalation of the puppet world, of what he did over there. Huh? That's right.
Voiceover man over here.
Yeah, him and the frog.
We have a story that's not. I don't know where to take this. You guys can get with it where you want. Arizona State has a top junior college transfer recruit. His name is Davin Durant. He was arrested for assaulting his girlfriend. That's not the story. The story is what she came out afterwards and said. No, he didn't hit me. He gave me a hickey under my eye. She has all messed up here. She said, no, it's just a hickey. He did not touch me.
Well, that's a move I wouldn't have thought.
That's it. I would. You usually go down the fallen steps, walk into a door.
Did she deserve the hickey?
What's that called?
I mean,
What's that called? An eye job?
You know what it's for.
Don't worry, honey. I know you'll be out there. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Because in 3 years he's gonna be getting these, and she wants part of that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
she'll say anything. Just oh no, I swear it's a hickey. Have you guys given your lovely ones some hickeys under the eye?
It's an eye job.
It's an eye job.
It's
The sense of that one.
It's an eye job.
Yes. You have to come out with an eye job. If you're not giving eye jobs, you don't know how to please a lady.
Listen, youngster.
If you're not giving eye jobs,
You're not doing it right.
Apparently I'm not. I'm gonna go home and read up all on eye jobs.
Eye jobs. You don't have to read up on it. Just Google it. It's fine. It's right there.
I'm googling it right now.
I'm gonna get in trouble at work with my work.
An eye job. It's going to come up under plastic surgeon. That's what it's going to come under. That's what an eye job is. Or an eye job.
The very last thing I had to touch on, our weekly Beaver update.
Safe search is off. Yeah.
But they, I'm forcing this one just because I want to talk about Bieber. But they did. They taped the roast over the weekend.
I saw clips.
See, that's the thing is I am trying to play. I don't want to see. Don't tell me. I'm taking my headphones off.
See how he looks.
I don't want to know.
Completely
probably looks
different,
amazing. He probably looks like a model.
Some hillbilly dude.
But yeah, there's like things all over the top jokes. There's clips in, and I'm avoiding it like you wouldn't believe.
The beavage.
Because I got to see this live. I don't want to be spoiled. So
there's a guy who's a real eye job.
2 weeks from tonight, folks. Make sure you DVR the Bieber roast. Watch us live. And that is this week's Wall Report.
Now, the Wall Report.
Yeah, does it like no other man and makes it look easy. Wall Report. Yeah, so all right, we're winding it down here. Got a couple minutes left. I know we had a segment of the you wanted to do a top three on the change in sports. We don't have a lot of time left. To me, I thought about what you asked about the top something I want to change.
Top three things that you would want changed.
Change in sports.
Whether taken away, added. What do you want?
Commercials.
Take the that's not gonna happen. Just watch just the live action.
That's a loaded question because you have to go through the sports to really each one, and that's what I try to do. I try to look for the sports that I went through, and to me, I went to the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
I know I bitched.
You just want to cancel the sport, is what you're going to say,
no,
right?
What I want to do is, I don't like the power play. Now, I know that's part of the game and all, but I can't. The power play itself is. It seemed I don't know. I want to change something in the power play. There was something. What I want to change is when the power play comes in hockey, and a goal scored during the extra man before they blow the whistle, and then they take away the penalty. So when you get that extra skater comes out before the touch up, and they score. I saw it a couple of times this year. Then it's no longer a penalty because you scored with the extra skater. Now, to me, that's so ridiculous. The penalty is what it is, and you're pulling your goal and putting the extra skater because once they touch up and the puck goes back.
Yeah.
But still score the goal, still keep playing your penalty. Now, I know the question.
Okay, I can see
right,
that.
Yeah, you took the advantage of the advantage. Now you get your advantage.
Yeah.
The other thing is that, I mean, no. Once again, I'm picking apart a sport from the question is, what would you change about sports? Maybe I'm going too into one sport. So
that's fine. No, I do actually want to piggyback what you said. And this isn't something I had, but it's something I want to throw out there that would be interesting. Imagine if, let's just say, the NFL did something like that. Instead of getting a 5-yard penalty, you lost a man for a play. Or if it's a 10-yard penalty, you lose a man for 2 plays. If it's a 15-yard, you lose a man for 3 plays.
I like
Imagine
that.
playing 10 on 11, and it can go both ways, like you said. It's, if it's a holding, you lose an offensive player for 2 plays. I think that'd be pretty crazy. I mean, that's drastic. That's something that would obviously never happen. And I'm not even saying I want to happen, but imagine that.
You take the purity that you're changing the game now, because
But it's funny because like you say something like that for football, and it's like, oh my god, no way. But in hockey, it's like, yeah, that's what you do. You lose a player. Like that's just.
You know me. I want the NFL to broadcast that game from behind the goal, behind the quarterback. So bad. I love that. That view is the best. It's just the whole game changes, and you want to watch every play when you see it like that.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it. You don't want to see the replay. I'm tired of watching football as a replay. That's what I don't like about the NFL. It's like the live action is nothing. The one play you see and then you see it 10 times from 5, 10 different angles, and it just
better.
Yeah, that are better, and it's just not. It ruins the. I don't know. To me, it's It's different. It's you know, I can't. Your question is a tough one to answer. Changing sports
wasn't for me. Any of them?
Well, yeah, 3 of them.
I have 3. Yeah.
Go B go.
Stay prepared this week.
Yeah, DL, the DL, DH in the American League.
Yeah.
I hate it. I think it. I can't figure why. To me, it pisses me off that there's 2 separate rules. And I understand it'll never change because the union won't let it change now, because that's where players go to make extra millions when they.
It's a money making.
But the strategy that comes into play, just because you're an American League ballpark, is and you could say vice versa, but it's so disadvantaged for teams to come in, because I don't like the trade-offs. I just hate the whole thing about not having your pitcher. It ruins it. To me, it ruins the game.
I get what you're saying, and once again, that it is put in there. Just what you said. It's the junior circuit. It is part of making players last longer.
It's a shot in the arm for baseball when it needed it. I understand,
and it keeps players around. There's a money value in there somewhere.
And at the time, the American League wasn't as good,
right?
And they wanted to boost their run potential, right. and TV was just starting to become very big for sports in the 50s, in the late 50s, early 60s, and that's when all that came into play. I think it was 63. It could be wrong.
The American League prior to that, the only difference, they had a lot more day games in the American League, and the umpires looked a little different. They used to use the chest protector, the hold-up chest protector. Some difference in that. Other than that, there was nothing really different. The American League was always broadcasted a little bit different. I think it was more or less because there were a lot of day games.
You always remember when you see all the old movies, it was always the kids skipping school for a 2 o'clock game.
Right. A Chicago White Sox game, or, that kind of thing.
What was that movie? Angels in the Outfield or something like that, way back when. Not the Danny Glover one, the original black and white one. And
I knew it was a remake. I didn't see the old one, but I know.
Glover was black, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. So
Tony Danza, he was the white, Dan Glover's the black.
Yeah. So I understand. I understand why it was done. I just don't like it.
What else?
Let me jump in real quick, because one thing I did have was I want the DH in both leagues.
Really?
Yeah, because pitchers pitch, hitters hit. I don't need to see a pitcher go up there and get 2 hits out of 90 at bats for the full season.
Game. It's part of the strategy of the game.
But that's my thing is I don't think it's
okay. But I'm just saying,
that's not what you do for a living. I don't care.
But that's baseball.
I know it's baseball,
right.
but as far as my lifetime has been concerned,
across
it's been the designated hitter is baseball as well. As far as I've ever learned, all I know is designated hitter in the American League, and it just seems like
you were too young to remember when bunting was a big thing in baseball and. The small ball that we all talked about that we don't have.
But the thing is, because bunting doesn't get you on ESPN that night.
Exactly.
And I understand that the whole thing with small ball, and I actually like small ball. And
no, that's baseball. I mean, it doesn't get you on ESPN though.
Yeah, I understand. But just like I said, I don't like the point of where it's you get to the 8 hitter and it's like, oh my god, this guy's got to get hit or we're screwed because our pitcher's up next. Like I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you have.
Well, it's more strategy.
That you get, you have 2 outs, bases loaded in the 4th inning, and your pitcher's up, and it's like, well, we can't pitch hit him because it's only the 4th inning. But now we just lost bases loaded. And whereas the American League, your 9 hitter can still get a hit. I mean, I just think that it should be uniform. I mean, it should be. I mean, either one, you don't have it at all or do have it in both. But although and I guess in the same way, I do like that the American League and National League are a little separate, but. I wanted to throw that one out there because I did have that one as well, but I had the opposite way.
Right, that's all right.
What I also had, because you did yours, I'm telling mine now. NBA draft lottery. I want to change that. I don't want any more.
Absolutely,
lotteries. It's ridiculous. And I mean, just to prove my case, I pulled up the draft lottery from the past 10 years. Only 2004 was the last time the worst team got the first pick. And teams that have gotten the first pick, the 9th worst team, the 8th worst team, the 5th, the 9th, the 6th, the 5th, the 6th. I don't want to see. I don't need to see a team that doesn't need the superstar to get the superstar.
And you just brought up a good point, and that's why the NBA is so stagnant. Look at it, because the middle of the road teams are staying middle of the road. The good teams are trading they're staying where they are, and the bad teams are staying where they are. No, but there's no movement because there's no flux.
Because the teams that are winning the lottery, listen to the teams that are winning the lottery. the Cavs, the Wizards, the Clippers, the Bulls, the Blazers, they're all playoff teams now because they won the lottery they should have had 8th pick, but now they have 1st overall. Look at the Cavs. The Cavs just won 3 out of 4 lotteries. Not once were they the worst team. Right. How's that okay? Like fun?
And then you got teams
and then traded those guys away for LeBron James. Like
and the teams that could be tanking, so to speak,
right?
End up not getting the pick at all anyway. So
you think it should just go well?
It should be if you're the worst team. Every other sport it is. Hockey I think has a lottery too. Actually,
yeah. But here's the thing: if you're the worst team, you can still make yourself the worst team. It doesn't stop you from tanking.
You don't have to. But I say tanking. It shows that tanking doesn't help.
Right.
Because no worst teams won it in 11 years.
Well, let's watch because the lottery is the ping pong balls stop that from tanking.
I know, but I don't like that. I don't want the lottery. I don't want the ping pong balls. If you're the worst team, you need the best player. You need it the most, obviously. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the Cavs won the lottery 3 out of 4 years. They traded 2 of those 3 picks to get LeBron. So they basically won the lottery to get LeBron.
Yep.
Because without those 2 picks, they don't get LeBron back. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
So they got LeBron twice.
Yeah. They won LeBron in the lottery once, and then they won the lottery to get LeBron back.
Yeah. Well, right. Never looked at it like that. You think about it.
My second one would be the hockey. I don't like the shootout / overtime thing.
Yeah, terrible.
I think to me, and maybe it's because I grew up this way, I'm a hockey purist.
It's changing.
I like the fact that, okay, if you want to stretch it out and make it like 3 guys, that's fine. Overtime, I don't care about how many guys are on the ice. It really doesn't matter.
He's done it with the action.
Okay, you play 5 minutes, you play 10 minutes. It doesn't matter to me. But here's the thing: you tell me if you get a win and you get 2 points, and if you lose, you get 1 point. But if you lose in overtime, you still get a point, and the winner gets 2 points. It doesn't make any sense. There should be 2 points up for grabs. If the team ties, they split the points. If you win, you get all the points. If you lose, you get none of the points. It's a flawed system. So if you want to make it more exciting, move the overtime to 8 minutes or even 10 minutes if you want. Knock it down to 5. 4-on-4 in the overtime. After the 5-minute mark, knock it down to 3 at the first stoppage of play. After the 5-minute mark, knock it down to 3-on-3. And it just be done with it. There's shoot-offs. I mean, these shootouts are horrible.
That's what they talked about.
But did everybody clamor for the shootout back? I don't know, like 10 years ago.
No, we never had it up until 6 years?
Well,
7 years
yeah,
ago
it's 6 years in running here, and it was brought in to get it because they got rid of the tie. They didn't want the tie anymore. They want somebody to win a hockey game. To me, if you're winning one-on-one hockey and you're doing a shootout like the Europeans did, or something was done, right? The Olympics did it.
It was done in the Olympics. International play, because in the Olympics you can't have everybody tying when you go in the medal round. Of course.
Right. So to me, it's a team sport. So when you put it in like they compared it to soccer, where soccer had to shoot at the end. That's what they were really comparing it to. But when it's a team sport, you want a team win or a team loss. You don't want guys going up there and doing a shootout, one guy against a goalie, especially goalies who has pitched a shutout the whole time. Has to now do 6 breakaways.
Like Mason in the other game.
I mean, here we go.
You lose a game because you shut them out.
Right. You don't want to have the breakaway. And once again, the breakaway has pretty much expose the NHL for what they are these days. Guys can't even score on a breakaway. It's almost embarrassing sometimes to sit there and watch these guys go in, lose control of the puck to start with. So anyway, you got anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, I had my last one I wanted to throw out there.
One more too. Yep.
Okay.
It was what we mentioned earlier. The NCAA tournament should not be 68 teams. There should be 64. We don't need play-in games. Right. Yeah. We don't need more. Like you said, we don't need more 18 and 13
teams.
Money. We don't need that. There's no reason.
One of the teams doesn't even have a winning record.
Well, but those are the ones that won their tournament to get there, and that's great. Those are great stories. Of course, they're going to get blown out to Kentuckys and Dukes. But when you win your tournament to get there, that's a good story. When you lost in the second round of your conference tournament and you went 18 and 13, what did you really do to be there? Like you hung around all year. I don't see that.
You don't, but you know why.
And of course, the money. And my last was on a similar thing was NBA playoffs. You don't, or even all playoffs should not be 8 teams from each conference. Go to 6. Baseball does 6. Football does 6. Go 6. 6 is the way to go. First 2 seeds get a bye. Next 4 duke it out.
Yeah.
And my last one would be don't agree with an automatic first down on a defensive holding.
Oh yeah,
awful.
yeah.
It's the worst
Awful.
play because it's keeping too many drives going, giving
Right.
too many teams that are, how many times did you see in a lot of games?
And
Not just
interference
Eagles,
call shouldn't
Exactly.
be. You should
it
get.
should be a first down. It should be a 5 yards. Give them the 5 yards.
Give them the 5 yards.
Yeah.
The interference is downfield. I don't think the ball should be marked to the interference call.
We don't need 50-yard penalties.
Yeah,
No.
right. That's exactly. That's a good point. That's what I didn't think of, and that's what always annoys me because some teams try to do that and they get the 50-yard penalty. Give them 5 yards and a first down.
Yeah.
You don't catch the ball. You don't catch the ball.
You give him 15.
15,
Otherwise,
okay,
you're just
I'm
yanking
sorry.
down receivers.
You're exactly right. 15 yards and a first down.
College does it.
Yeah.
I never heard people about
Oh
that.
yeah, you know what college does
Yeah,
do? I
they
never
do
I
15.
realized that. Yeah.
They don't do spot
This
foul.
way, you don't have guys throw in the end zone, get first and goal. You get the first down and goal from the half the distance goal
Yeah.
line. It is ridiculous, and that's
No, it's not half. You get it on the goal.
on the goal line. Yeah, right. So that's never going to change. It could. I mean, NFL. It's more scoring for them. Any way they look at it.
Before we sign off, guys, remember sgshow.net or the sportsgoombahs.com. Sign up for the NCAA Bracket Challenge.
Yeah.
$50.
Look
Win a
for us
hoodie.
at all our Twitters and the Facebooks and everything, and you
You
just
know where to
click on the
find
links,
us.
baby.
Get in there. It's free to play.
Nothing to
It's
lose.
free to win. It's free to get on the show. Cashy the King. I got my chef to the left, Brendan B. Got Mikey the Wall over here.
I'm going to go home and get my girlfriend an eye job tonight.
Ooh-ah.
Oh,
There you go. She's probably just cringed right now listening to that.
See you soon, babe.
She's got a pair of glasses on when you're walking the door. She put some goggles on. We'll see you next week.